Dude, that was huge.
Thank you.
That was so huge.
That's the worst switch though yet.
Hey, you landed it.
I did land it. That's all that matters.
You forced it for sure, though.
Yes,
You said,
most definitely.
I'm doing this.
Most of that was actually the case with all of these tricks.
That's kind of how skateboarding is, right?
Yeah.
You just got to be like, fuck it, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Dude. Is that ground zero deck?
Yep. Dude. This time, I had to do whatever the fuck I could to get any board at any time.
Right? That was gnarly. All
Thank
right.
you.
Welcome to About That Ender, Mr. Andy Dicker.
Hello.
Thank you for coming out, dude.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Okay, so just a little backstory. We are familiar with each other, but don't really know each other. So I told him we were going to get to know each other on camera. So let's start. Where are you from?
Dude, I don't know.
You know,
I guess
Good start.
here
Good
for
start.
something, you know?
here is like Sacramento.
Yes. Right now, I'm here. But I was born in Connecticut, and then like a month later, we moved to San Jose, California, and lived there for 8 years. And that was chill. I like that. And then we moved to Vancouver, Washington.
Damn.
We lived there for 8 years, so that shit was wet.
right.
But it
Wet.
was great. Rained so much, dude. And you think it rains quite a bit. And in fact, it's raining today, but there it rains like
All the
60-something days in a row.
That's insane.
1 day off, and then another month and a half on. It's like, but that's why snowboarding out there is so fun too.
Yeah.
Mount Hood, that's where it's at. So, anyways, going back to the story. Then, when I was 16, we moved to Sacramento, my parents and I. My brother and sister, they stayed up and continued to live in Washington. But we lived here and went to Del Campo High School for a few years, went to Sac State, and then I went to Chico for 2 years, and that was chill, but I got over that shit, so excuse me. And then I moved to Spain and went to school there.
Spain.
Yeah, Spain was sick. I went to La Universidad de Alicante. It's
Damn.
like the south. It's like the middle of the country on the coast, east coast, you know, below Barcelona and to the right of Madrid, 6 hours each way, and you're there. And it's cool. Like, you've seen it in skate videos, like random spots, like some double set with an out rail and some other crazy, just like little things. But for the most part, it's more of a touristy town. But it was still fun to learn Spanish. Then I came back here. I finished at Sac State. I got a degree in communications because I just did whatever my parents wanted me to, and I just wanted to skate and chill. And then when I was finishing my degree, that's when I filmed that part with my homie Matt Mullen. And that was awesome. After that, I moved to Long Beach, went and chilled there. Then I moved to Costa Mesa. And then
Damn.
I kind of like moved back, but I wasn't really living home because I was going on so many trips that I would just like be
kinda-
home for
yeah.
2 weeks, but then be gone. I lived in Chile for a little bit, and I taught skate camp down
in
there.
Chile.
Yeah, dude, Chile's sick.
Jeez, bro.
Santiago, Chile. It's like, it's crazy. It's a very different place. Once you go there and you're there for a little bit and you see the complexities of like how politics work or how people have money. Like the rich are rich as
Yeah.
fuck, and the poor are
Yeah,
they
no
have
middle
one.
class.
There's no middle class, and it's like a clear shift where
Wow.
like I'm with the rich people or I'm with the homies. Like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is crazy,
Yeah.
but it's awesome. The people there are super nice. Everyone and everything about it is like such a enriching and beautiful thing. But after that, I moved home. And during all this time, excuse me, I forgot to mention skate camp because every summer I would do skate camp, and that was like
For Element.
for YMCA.
YMCA, that's okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I apologize for giving you that attitude, but I'll bring it up later as to why it's YMCA.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, skate camp, man. I got a part of that 11 years ago, and it's changed my life because just the best people are on that. So, and as I expressed how I moved down to Costa Mesa and Long Beach area, I was actually working at Element, but I was also working with the nonprofit Elemental Awareness, where we teach wilderness survival to kids at skate camp. And like for the rest of the year, we would have to do all the marketing for Element as far as promotions. So we would host the Make It Count series, and it was like all over America. That's what we pretty much did, and then everybody else did it in their own countries. Then there would be the final one that was linked up. So we always had some crazy ass trip. Or our reservation tours where we go to different Indian reservations around America. And and we have a contest for the kids at the skate parks, but it's pretty much just like skate, and we'll just give you hella boards and backpacks and everything, you know? But it's always the craziest trips. But we'll get back to that. Going further. So I was kind of like moving around all the time. And then after skate camp, I was invited to live at the Growlery, which is art residency in San Francisco. And it's like this wonderful woman. She raised a bunch of money from PR for Facebook before Facebook blew up or had the money. So they just gave her like stocks. But then when they started getting money, she's just so unbelievably rich that she's just like, all right. So she bought a really good house and she decided to turn it into an artist residency. And it's like Laura Haight, and it's 5 stories, I think.
And residency, you mean so for like artists to live for free or for cheap?
For free.
For free.
Yes, or for cheap in some places, but in this, it was like...
So it's like an incubator.
Dude, yes. It's like an incubator. And it's almost like it. In some ways, what I'm going to say could sound too good to be true, but I promise that it is. It's just one of those things. But for the most part, people would go to them and be like, oh, dude, like, I get to live here for half off the rent, and I have a show, like, once a year. It's dope, you know? So it kind of works out in the favor. Well, my homie Mike Kirshner, who's an amazing artist, and he's a part of Elemental Awareness. He's one of the co-founders. He was the manager of the Growlery, lining people up for different art shows and stuff, and we've been homies for so long. He's like, do you want to be in this? I'm like, yes. He's like, all right, send a proposal over, do something. So I made up like a fake artist series about 3 artists, a painter, a musician, and a photographer.
So I found that video.
Yeah.
And I was going to talk to you about that. That's funny that you, okay, I'm glad we got there, because let's bring it up real quick, because this was...
Oh, this is just...
Dude, this was hilarious. So
thank you.
I Googled you, or YouTubed you, trying to find some whatever, and I came across this, and at first I'm looking at it like, what is this? And then I watched it, and let's just play a little bit of it real quick, because...
This is so bad.
For people who can't see it, it's him playing 3 different characters. Mute? What's going on here? Oh, there we go.
I'm 28 years old.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God.
My name's Lance. I'm from Nevada City, California, and it's just one of the most beautiful places that you've ever been. Just nature and abundant and lush.
Dude, we made all this shit up on the go.
This guy's my favorite.
Yeah, my name, Magnus
Connors.
I kind of do it all. Anything you really want, you know what I'm saying? Kind of a ace of spades, if you will, a jack of trades. I'm that guy, that one guy that you kind of rely on for pretty much anything. I'm him, me, Magnus. Yes.
So for people who can't see it, he's playing 3 different styles of artists that are basically like applying to get into this place, like a video interview, and it's hilarious. We'll put the link to it in the bio so you can watch the whole thing, because it's super funny. It made me laugh throughout the whole thing. So I wanted to ask you about that, like what's up with this. So carry on. Sorry, carry on about.
Well, no, it's okay. I mean, this interview literally is like a depiction of the possibilities that a person could have with an idea, you know? Just like how this is a studio in its own way, you know? It's like, oh, well, it's kind of hard, but it's like, no, dude, you're doing it right. You're doing whatever you can with what you got to make it happen, you know?
Yeah.
My homie is somehow running a mansion in SF, but he's like my homie. And just like a year ago, we were in his mom's garage, and he was telling me, like, dude, I'm fucking over this. I want to be doing something great. I want to involve the whole community of people, and I want to give art the ability to breathe with so many who get involved. And it was just like a total law of attraction type thing where he's just like, I wish this would happen. And then like 6 months later, he's like, so I went to camp, a different camp, not skate camp, but I went to Montecito, and I saw Jean, and my father talked to her, and she said that she was looking to make it an artist residency, and I started talking with her, and now I'm the manager. Boom. It's like, dude, next level. He's like, all right, well, yeah, if you want to get in, you have to do, like, send an interview. Do what you got to do. So my friend Tom Wool and I are just like, oh, shit, dude. Well, let's just use the iPhone. And look, there's like, okay, this that which is around my neck like a scarf, I'm pretty sure it was draped somewhere.
Like a tablecloth or some shit. Yeah.
Everything we just grabbed from everywhere and just made it work and sent it. And then they're like, all right, for sure.
It's legit.
It was.
Have you ever done anything like this before?
Yes, I have. I've done like stand-up comedy. I've done troops, and also through announcing these contests for Element. It's just like pretty much me being on top of the mic and having to say whatever, but contests usually in my mind kind of suck. So I figured like the person who would most like it is of course the audience. This is for each individual person.
Yeah.
But it's not for them as a group, it's for that one person. So how do I make it good for one person at a time? And that's just fuck it, let's just have fun. I'm gonna say stupid shit.
Yeah.
And it will be dope. And it's not about me, it's not about any of us.
Well,
It's
you're good.
just-
You are a good announcer because that's how we met.
Oh yeah, that's right. Epic.
Yeah, through Epic, you announced one of the Make It Count contests,
Yeah.
and that's
that
how
was-
that's how we met. And
Dude, didn't Miko win that one?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and he did. I remember that. That actually was a huge deal behind the scenes.
Oh really?
We got a bunch of shit for that because he like didn't pay to get in.
Oh, of
And
course
the-
not. No.
Of course not. It's Mika.
It's
It's
Mika.
Mika. Who's gonna?
He's
we're not
chef
gonna-
wearing Mika.
Right?
No one's
Yeah,
gonna charge him.
no, I'm not gonna charge. I don't know about it. Well, neither of us were gonna charge.
Yeah,
You.
for
Excuse
sure.
me, Mika. Can you?
Yeah,
Let me
for
get a
sure.
wristband real quick. No, we're not gonna do that shit. But the owner, he's standing up at the top of the stairs, and she's like, he doesn't have a wristband. He's like holding the giant check.
Oh my god.
And like everybody's celebrating, and she
Yeah.
comes up and is like, "He doesn't have a wristband on."
the one thing.
Seriously. I can't believe he.
How could he?
I mean, we like got chewed out like
Damn.
hardcore for that, and what are we gonna say? Like what? No, sorry,
Yeah.
my bad.
My bad. Hey, my bad.
But anyways, yeah, that's how we met.
Yeah.
and you're a good announcer. So
Well, thank you.
So I definitely knew that you were good at public speaking. You were comfortable in front of that, but this was so good that I'm like, dude, is he like an actor? Like, is he, you know? But
dude.
obviously, you've got you've got a lot of shit under your belt.
There's a bunch of shit going on.
How old are you?
I'm 31.
31.
Yeah.
Okay. Damn, though. Still, dude, you've done a lot of shit.
Dude,
I thought I did a lot of shit. you made me feel lazy.
No. Definitely not. You've got a family. You've got a good thing. There's just a difference, you know? There's like, with time or like the initiatives, experiences that you have to give other things away, you know? You can't make room for it, or you
Yeah.
have to make room for it.
Yeah.
So with this, it's like, yeah, I've done a bunch of cool shit and rad things. But if you continue with the question of what my life has been like, so reflecting back on that, the Transworld check-in, dude, I was trying so fucking hard to film as much as possible because it kind of clicked in my mind of like, damn, if I put a part together, I was getting flow from Element from one of the homies that came to skate camp. If I get a part together, that will keep going. Maybe then I'll get AM. I'm only like 22.
And when you filmed that, you were early 20s, you said?
Yeah, I was
Like
22 for sure. And I was going to school at Sac State, and I was just like, fuck it, I don't give a shit. But I broke my ankle on a trip to San Diego. So that's why it was so short. And that's why I could have footage in it, because many of those things would have been things that possibly we would have thrown away. But it's like, dude.
Really? Because I thought it was pretty good.
Well, thank you. But I suppose I was just like so driven at that time that I was just like, I got to do whatever I can to make it the best. And Matt's such a good filmer. I held him in a high regard. So it's like, I got to do good for Matt, you know,
Yeah.
make sure I'm up there.
Bangers.
Yeah, for reals. So I broke my ankle there, and then
How'd you break it?
I broke it, dude. We went down to San Diego, and we were skating the 4x4 downtown San Diego with Alan Hannon, Miles Silvis, and Matt Mullen. And we just like, it's like strange. Like you've seen it in skate mafia videos. It's not a very I don't know. I haven't seen it that often, but I remember seeing it, and it's dope. But right when we got there, the security guard came to kick us out, and I had a fresh pair of Nike Blazer highs and a new Element board, and I was just like, fuck it. And I went to ollie the step, and my foot came off the back of the tail, like this way, and rolled like that, because it was the rubber was so new and vulcanized. It dug into the ground, so that shit snapped, and I was out for a minute, you know? And then
And of course, you had to do it right in front of the security guard.
that motherfucker.
So from now on, he's got like the right in his head to kick every skateboarder. No, you're gonna fucking hurt yourself. The one guy that breaks his ankle on the property, you know.
Dude, but it was propelled by him. Had he not come, I would probably would have broken it, you know? Nah, whatever. Shit happens.
All right, so you broke that, and then did you recover? Were you skating again soon, or was
No.
that?
No, I had to get surgery.
Oh,
because like I broke both my legs, or excuse me,
Like, wait a minute, I thought you said your ankle.
both the bones in my leg, and then all the ligaments in my ankle were done. So I had to get, dude. They didn't put a pin in. They didn't put a plate. They put Kevlar wire. It's pretty fucking sick because it's like there's like
So it's movable.
Yes, it's extremely flexible because it's just the flow of Kevlar. However, it goes from one side of the bone to the other and then back, and then they pulled it tight and then cinched it and sealed it. So you just like zip wrapping something or tying something
Like zip
tight.
tied your bones back together.
Dude, and this ankle is stronger than this ankle. And
Well, yeah, it's Kevlar wrap.
it's Kevlar, baby.
All right, so if you're ever like in the danger of being shot, just like
Please.
put the ankle up. Just
Throw it up. Dude, I roundhouse kicked this bullet that was flying right from my face. It was so sick. No, yeah, so I got that, and I just had to chill for hella days. And, like, during that time, of course, that's, like, the first feelings of, like, fuck, I fucking failed. This sucks, dude. I wanted to have a full part. I wanted to do so much. It's like, I just want to be pro. I want to be a pro skateboarder. I want to travel. I want to get paid for this shit. I want to chill with my homies. I want to move about. And then I thought about what pro skateboarding. I could just be professional and do that shit in the realm of business somehow. What if I was a skateboarding professional? Not a professional skateboarder, but slightly different. I would still do all the same things as them, but I would have different jobs and tasks in which I wouldn't ruin my body, hopefully.
Yeah, I like your thinking.
So,
That's what I did.
dude, right? That's what we do. We just make it happen one way or another. And it's like, I still try to skate, and I eat shit all the time, so I'm really glad I didn't try to go pro. But other things have come up that allowed me to travel to so many different places and have the chance to try this out. And it's just been super rad. But then at the gallery, I was like getting pretty close to, it was crazy living there too.
So you moved in.
Yeah, I fucking moved in, dude. All right, I moved in.
And this video is what got you in?
Yup.
Crazy.
This, I know. Did an iPod. An iPhone edit. It's definitely, I mean, as we've
Dude,
seen
who
now.
cares what medium you put it on? It's
true.
the content, bro.
It's a content. It is what it worked perfect. But yeah, I lived there, and I lived on the second story. And the room that I lived in doesn't seem like a room you would actually rent in San Francisco. It seems like a set for a movie that you'd like watch about an elegant place in San Francisco back in the 70s or
It's
something.
like a legit Victorian.
Dude, yes. The lady who owns astrology.com, that was her house. And they refinished it. They did everything back to new. Like a few years before they sold it to Gene because they had to get rid of it. But it's like she walked into a brand new old Victorian mansion.
What'd you pay for that shit? Like fucking $5 million and shit.
Too much for me to even comprehend. I don't know, dude. Dude, Facebook, they got it though.
That's true, yeah. I mean, she got Facebook money.
She got Facebook money.
That's like whatever.
Yeah, they're chilling.
That's how much I spend on Tuesday.
But yeah, dude, it was crazy.
Okay,
living there.
so you moved in there. How long did you live there for?
My residency was for 6 months in total. It was supposed to be for 3 months, but I got an extension for it. And however, I fell on my 5th month. So it was like October, November, December. I was chilling, and those are the times where I was supposed to finish everything. But I didn't finish it because I was getting close, but I had to do.
So let's back up. Sorry.
Yeah.
What were like when what was the process basically? Like you moved in, and then from there, what did you have to do? You know what I mean? Like what was when they're like, okay, you can live here now. This is what you have to do to live here. What was that?
Okay.
What was that?
It was freedom, because
No, I mean like what they tell you had to do. Like what did you have to do?
nothing. They didn't tell me I had to do anything.
Just come in and be an artist?
Yeah, the only expectation is that I would prepare for a show, a personal show that I'd have at the house.
That's what I was getting at right there. Okay, so you just had to do some kind of show.
Something. And this is what I presented to them, is that I was going to have 3 different artists having a show, but it was the actual show wasn't the show itself.
It was you.
It was not necessarily me, but the web series, because each character would bring something different to the show, and the show was just a mere part of it that would be seen in the final episode. Dude, all right, so this is so complex for me to reflect on, and it's awesome because I wasted so much fucking time, but I seriously worked so goddamn hard for the most tedious, tiny detail. But like, so I would basically think about how's I gonna do it. Like I made up these 3 characters with our iPhones. I didn't even know what the fuck they're gonna be like. And I went out shopping with my homie Mike, and we went up to the Haight and went to Goodwill, and I was like, dope. This kind of looks like a rapper. Dope. I could probably get this to be a male-female character, because that's what Lance is supposed to be. He's not supposed to know whether he's male or female.
Androgynous?
Yes, an androgynous. Turns out he is male, but it's crazy. Anyways.
The story unfolds.
Story unfolds, dude. And then we just found like I was thinking, because most of this acting and humorous kind of like flow that I try to go for myself is from skate camp, because at skate camp we have campfire.
Little skits and shit.
Shit. And you could think like, oh yeah, those are fun, you know? Growing up as a kid, those are fun. There's camp, there's songs, it's dope. But of course, I'm a hard ass and kind of like a piece of shit in the realm of like, I don't want to do it like that.
No, this has to be good.
Yeah, it has to be good if we're gonna do it. So I considered the campers that were there and all the staff that were there that had to repeat and remain and see the same skits over and over. So I made a complex series about Cletus Brown from dude, I can't remember who he's from. Like, who knows? But he has a stick that is like one of those sticks with like a satchel on the end of it, named Gregory. And Gregory turns out to be his genetically modified brother. He was gonna be the perfect union of wood and man to be the skateboarding man, whatever. It was so stupid, but whatever. Those would occur, and I would do things like that every single night. So the stories were always changing, and the counselors were like, "Dude, what the fuck? We didn't hear this last week. This is crazy." And I'm like, "I know." And I just kept doing random stuff like that. So that's what led to this. So this was more of my art. It was like I wanted to present in a humorous way different realms or ideas in society or reality that could be like so hard, so complex, but ultimately so stupid because this is just ridiculously foolish. So
it'd have been awesome if you did an actual art show where 3 different artists were sharing an art show with, you know, the photography, the painting, and the whatever, and you worked the room as each different artist throughout the night, and that was it wasn't the art that was on the wall, it was like
the artist himself.
You're doing like a performance art where you come out as Lance for a little bit.
Yeah. Dude, that it's funny you bring it up because that was the intended goal. So with the reason why I got the extension was because I didn't plan for the full work of art to be as time consuming, because like, of course there is the painting aspect, which does take time. Then there's the photography aspect, which does take time. And then there's the music aspect, which does take time. And most art shows would just have one of those things, but I'm mixing all 3 into one. And on top of that, I'm making a YouTube series about it. So that which took up most time is what you guys kind of can feel in a certain way of editing, of just like, dude, I just have to make a fucking Instagram video. God damn it, why? Why am I doing this? But it's like, well, this is good promotion for the show. I want to have this, because the concept is that, so basically, Lance, they all get brought into the gallery, and if there's episodes of The Residency of how it was flowing, and basically there's Sean Connery, he's a photographer, he's a piece of shit, he hates everything, he's just a jerk. There's Lance, who doesn't have testicles, and he was raised by his parents that they never put a gender on him. He's androgynous, so he's not sure whether he's male or female. The only thing he has is his best friend Arthur, which is just a plant with a smiley face on it. And he always talks to Arthur. Arthur is his best friend. He's everything. And then there's Magnus, Mag Money. He was like
Magnus Connors.
Connors. What's funny is like, dude, we made up Magnus Connors, and I totally forgot when I was in San Francisco. I was like, fuck, I don't know what to do, man. And my homie Jacoto was like, shit, man. And I was like, boom, that's it. Like, that makes perfect sense to me. We're going with that. So then it became Mag Money. And it was like, all right, here we go. Haha. And Mag just was this character who's like a little bit, he was like the kind of humorous, strange one who didn't give a fuck about anything. So what I was hoping is that the characters would be seen in a way of like, Lance is complex. The things he goes through. I want to like him, but I don't know. Sean's a dick. I fucking hate that guy. Magnus is really nice. Like, this is great. We'll see what happens. However, what was going to happen, more importantly than the show itself, was the YouTube series, because Lance basically finds out that he's attracted to women when he gets a boner one time, and he like blows his mind. Arthur doesn't like that he's not spending enough time with Lance and starts doing cocaine and smoking weed and getting drunk.
Plant?
The plant, Arthur. And Lance and Arthur are basically torn apart because he doesn't understand, because Lance starts falling in love with a girl. Arthur starts falling in love with drugs, and he just finds out he's a man. He doesn't know what to do. So he gets all like super bummed. And then Sean, he's just kind of like in between. He stays in a realm where he's like taking photos and doing chill, but kind of like gets to a point where he pulls out that he's really sad. Like he really wants to be a good photographer, but he doesn't really know what to do with himself or how to make it work. And he wishes it could all work out. Well, Mag Money, Mag Dog, basically has like the sickest show ever. And turns out, the craziest thing is it turns out that they're both abandoned children. Well, Magnus was abandoned by his parents, and Sean Connery's parents abandoned his brother. They're actual brothers. Wow. They find out in the end.
Mind blown.
And they never knew it.
Bro.
And they never knew it. So, and the thing that Sean Connery deep down really likes is country music. So much. He loves country music. And Magnus makes a rap song that's a mix of country and rap that's just like crazy. And at the show, so this was all gonna end with the actual art show at the residency, where I would come down as Lance for a little bit, and I would be there for like half hour to 45 minutes, just kind of talking to people, letting him see. And then there was supposed to be a breakup between him and Arthur between that time, and that's when Arthur would come back and we'd film that and like, oh, and I'd edit it later for the other stuff. And then Sean Connery would come down and he'd be chilling, and then Magnus would come down and he would do the art show, because I was just gonna rap in front
Well, you'd
of
have
everybody.
to like DJ too.
I would have my homie Mike Kirshner DJ.
Yeah, but he'd have to like make his entrance on the DJ table.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
He would.
like a spotlight behind him and shit.
He would, for sure. Mag Money, he's crazy. But he would come down, he would rap, and that would be it. That would be the show as far as like what we would see in San Francisco. And then I would come out as a normal human being dressed up in my normal way.
Normal human
He'd be like,
being.
yeah, that's a joke. You can see the last episode and you'll see what happens. And in the last episode, Lance ultimately decides that it's better for him and Arthur to separate, so he plants Arthur in the Golden Gate Park and leaves him. And he's gonna find out what it's like to be a man.
It's like the closing shot.
Yeah, for him.
Like walking away and the plant.
Yeah, but really, we're just gonna dig out a hole and put the plant in there, and it's gonna look so stupid. And then, so that's that.
Stupidly awesome.
Stupidly awesome, yes. That's. So then Sean Connery's kind of like thinking about what's gonna happen next, and then Mag Money comes out and he's like, "Hey, yo, man, you my brother. Let's do this. What you up to now?" He's like, "Oh, nothing." And he's like, "Yo, I just got signed on. There's this crazy, crazy musician from Tokyo, right? Japan, you know what I'm talking about? He got me signed up to travel all over Eastern Asia. But do you want to be the photographer, brother?" And he'd be like, "Oh." So then those two end up uniting.
And they ride off into the sunset.
They ride off into the sunset. So that would have been the show. However, I was bombing a hill in San Francisco, the same hill I bombed every single damn day when I went to Soma, the one off of Broderick Street. There's like this, it's a spot that now has rocks down the side of it, down the hill, but most people would do tricks over the rail into the bank for days, or you like grind it and pop over. But there's two hills.
And there are two rails too,
Two
right?
rails, yeah. Then the two hills that like kind of cross off like this. There's one that goes straight down. You could follow that down to Soma, which is pretty dope. Or there's one that goes straight down to, that one's called Broderick, correct. Straight down through Fell, which is funny because I did fall, like bastards. And I would ride it every day to go to the skate park or whatever. And I went out that night. The thing about the Growler as well is that is the time in which I was experiencing what it was like to be a young, rent-free, skateboarding piece of crap living in San Francisco who has no real responsibilities other than doing what I wanted to do. Yeah. So whenever the homies would come over, it's like, let's get crazy. That's like, I don't really care, you know? On my birthday, all the homies from SAC came down. And of course, I had asked that everybody wears all white. It's like, why wouldn't you? One time we went to the strip club in, dude, outside of City Lights, outside of the Fresno airport, which I highly recommend. because it's like
Wait, it's strip club.
It's a strip
outside
club.
of the
Fresno Airport. Not too far, not even half a block.
Let's take a trip down to Fresno, guys.
Dude, that is literally like the only thing you want to do in Fresno because it sucks. Besides that, at least that's like, all right, this is fun. But the reason why I like it is because when you walk in, half the bar is, of course, a strip club, and then the other half is just to play pool. So you don't even have to interact with them. And they just like come, and they'll come and talk and be like, hey, what's up? You want to dance for like 200? I have a quarter. I'm trying to play a game.
Yeah,
like,
I'm playing quarter pool here. What do you come on.
One time we dressed in all white for that. So I was like, yeah, we're doing that for my birthday. And on my birthday, dude, there's so many homies. Oh, fuck. I can't believe I brought this up. There's so many homies. And like, I, of course, am just trying to enjoy myself and have a great time. It's my birthday. Why not? And someone's like, yo, let's drink some beers. It's like, yeah, for sure. Someone's like, yo, let's smoke some spliff. Like, yeah, for sure. Someone's like, yo, you want some mushrooms? Like, yeah, for sure. And then I'm smoking more and I'm just chilling the whole night. I'm just like, yeah.
It's your birthday.
It's my birthday. And then
Which
it's like,
which birthday? It was 2 years ago, you said, right?
yes, 2
So
years ago. 29.
29.
Yeah.
29, okay.
And I got fucked. Like, we did karaoke, and then we went to another bar down in Soma, and I skated because everybody was trying to take an Uber, but there wasn't enough room for me, so I just bombed anyway.
What do you mean? It was your birthday. There's not enough room for you. That's fucked up.
Well, I demanded that I skated.
Oh, okay. Well, you were on mushrooms and shit. So. I'm skating.
Let us not forget. I was on mushrooms. Dude, and then whatever. We get home, and when I said a bunch of homies came down from SAC, I meant a bunch of homies came down from SAC. Like, all the playboys, all the playboys came down, and I was hectic, dude. And at a point, I believe it was like 2 o'clock. This is when my memory fades in and out. However, I kind of do connect the pieces now. And that's when I was about to go to bed. My ex-girlfriend was in my room, and I went up to like say what up. And then my homie Mike comes in. He's like, yo, dude, it's too loud down there. Like, are you gonna start kicking these people out? What's going on? Dude, there's like 40 people downstairs. You know?
And they're all in the growlery.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
40 people downstairs with 3 artists who are staying, which is me and 2 other people, and then Mike. So it's just us up of 40. So it's fucking annoying, you know? And I'm just like, it's my birthday. But I'm like, yeah, for sure. So I got downstairs, and like, dude, I was so bad. My homie B-Slick was there eating some fucking spinach or something. And I'm like, you guys gotta leave. It's time to go. And B-Slick was drunk. He's like, fuck you. What are you gonna do? And I'm like, oh, what? You gonna eat? You gotta go. Here. And I like push the food into his mouth. And he's like, oh, dude. And I'm like, you guys gotta go. And everyone's like, ah. I'm like, ah. And then Jeremy Lanyon, Onion, dude. Oh, I feel so bad for this. But I'm gonna tell it because I did it. Because what happened was
Well, make sure you're not embarrassing anybody, right?
only myself.
Okay, all right. Carry on then.
Yes. I think he had taken mushrooms or something along the
Allegedly.
line. Allegedly. He and I were on a similar path as far as like being all fucked up, but I was like extra fucked up just cause. And I was like, yo, you gotta leave. He's like, dude, I don't wanna leave, man. I'm like, you gotta leave. And he's like, oh, I just wanna chill. I'm like, come on, man, come on. And he's like, I don't wanna leave. Like, and I like pushed him. I was like, you're gonna leave. He's like, dude, I'm gonna hit you. I was like, do it. Do it. He's like, dude, I don't wanna hit you. He's like, do it. Hit me. And he's like, all right, if I'm gonna hit you, it's gonna hurt. I'm like, do it. Oh, he hit me hard.
He just punched you right in the face?
Yep, because I asked for it, and I pushed him into it. Literally, physically pushed him into it. And it fucking hurt, and I was like, and I like freaked out, and everyone's like, yo! And then they're like, you gotta go to the back porch, So we go to the back porch, and we're chilling on the back porch, and there's windows all around that you can see through, because it's all just glass doors and whatnot. And during that time, I was also working out every day, doing like taekwondo type stuff, just like to maintain a good figure while skating, because I don't want to get hurt, because I know what it's like to fuck up your ankles, but if you're doing some sort of flexibility or movements, you're at least not going to fuck up your ankles anymore.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of kicks, punches, whatever. Dude, we get outside, I turn right, I turn left, and then I roundhouse kicked Onion in the face, and I broke his nose, dude.
You kicked him in the face?
In the face!
Dude, Onion's like the nicest guy ever.
The nicest.
He's like the nicest guy.
Most sweet.
And you kicked him in the face.
Dude, I love Onion too. So, I kicked him in the face. Everyone's crazy. I go to bed. I wake up the next morning with no recollection of what had happened other than karaoke and prior to that.
You wake up in the morning, you're just like, man, awesome night last night. Woo.
Yep. I was like, good morning to
Everybody.
my ex. Like, hi. And she's like, I think you should go downstairs. I'm like, yeah. And I roll downstairs. I'm like, what up, what up, what up? And he's like, yo, dude, what's up, Andy? Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, man.
Like, what do you
We had
mean?
a great night. Like, dude, Onion's fucked. I'm like, what? Like, you broke Onion's nose.
It's all this
like,
red stuff on my shoes. I don't know. It's weird.
dude. Mike, he cleaned everything up because I got the blood everywhere.
I bet you broke his nose. It probably bled everywhere.
Dude, yeah. And I called him and he picked up and I'm like, dude, I'm so fucking sorry. I don't even know how to express like the pain that I feel in myself for causing you pain. I am so sorry, dude. He's like, no, dude, it's all good.
See,
like,
the nicest.
yeah, he's the nicest.
He's probably still had shit up his nose to stop the bleed. He's like, nah, it's cool, bro. Don't worry about it.
Probably. Dude, he's the fucking best, man. He's the best. This was more just like, I had what was coming for me, you know? I was just drinking and being such a piece of shit. I was just the worst. And that's not something I would ever do, you know? I'm not really like a physical type person in the realm of like making others physically hurt or hindered in some way, you know?
Yeah.
That's just not me. But I got hella fucked up all the time. And then one time I was out and my friend Connor and I like got drunk till like 3 a.m. January 14th now, and 3 a.m. We went to the top of the hill and we were just talking about life. And I was like, you know what life's like, man? Tray flips. And I did a tray flip and then bombed the hill. And he's just like, yow! So he's bombing the hill behind me. And it's like a hill that goes down and then it goes flat and then it goes down again. And then it's like a main parkway where there's like 4 lanes in just one direction.
Mm.
And if you time it right, you'll go through it when it's green for you and red for them. But what I forgot is that they had been doing road work prior to for like the last month or something like that, where they dig out the pipes below the flat of the hill and they put a piece of metal over it that was like 3 inches tall just to cover it up for the next day when they picked it up and kept doing shit. I didn't know that they did it at the bottom of the hill. So we bombed the whole shit and I clipped the one at the bottom and I smacked the back of my head.
Oh.
And that's
Dude, you were probably doing like 30, 40 miles an hour too, just like, because you were at the bottom of that hill.
Yep.
So you'd already gone down one hill flat and then another block, and then you clipped. So you were going full speed,
dude.
and right to the back of your head.
Yeah, dude, it was a bummer. I fucked up. I mean, like,
bro,
it was fine. I remember I was out. You know, I suppose I went into the coma, and then my ex, who was such a wonderful human being, Rebecca, she called my parents and got them down to the hospital. And she was like there all the time.
Your parents are here in Sac?
My parents are here in Sac.
So they had to drive.
Yeah,
dude,
they didn't give a fuck. Dude. Like,
no, I'm just saying, as a parent, I couldn't imagine having to drive that far.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the whole time you're like, fuck. You know, that's what I'm just like,
point.
damn, they had to drive all the way out there, you know, like, and like wait, like, oh shit. Like even just
What's gonna happen?
like even just at a hospital here in Sacramento, that 20-minute drive would be like, oh fuck,
right?
Oh fuck.
Dude, going to Frisco too with traffic. I can't even
yeah.
imagine. My parents are amazing human beings.
Okay, so you were in a coma.
I was in a coma, yes. And I remained in a coma for 1 week, I do believe. And then I came out of the coma, but then I got pneumonia or something like that. So they had to put me into another coma. But the coma that I would come, they had to give me a craniotomy, dude. Do you see?
Oh yeah.
You see
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
Right there?
Yeah.
So that's
gnarly.
that goes all the way around to right here, and I kind of have like a bump on my ear right here because there's a bolt right there, and there's like a few more bolts that I threw out. It's fucking crazy to feel, you know, like, God, whoa. But
Because they had to relieve pressure.
they did indeed. So when you hit the back of your head, your skull is actually like a helmet for the insides.
Yeah.
So if you think of the object inside of it, it bounced to the front because all
Yeah.
the force went there. So it bounced and hit the right cerebral cortex, or can't even quite remember what this part is. But it's the emotional aspect to
Yeah.
like our everyday, our right side of thinking. So that was all fucked up. And the doctors were like, yo, let's chill this out. So they took this and allowed the swelling to occur. So, dude, it was like crazy because when I'd wake up in the morning, my head would be full. And it's like when you touching like a butt cheek or something, how it's like soft and squishy.
Yeah.
That's what my head was like, dead ass up here, straight up. But at the end of the night, it would go from being like this sinking down like that because all the pressure
Yeah.
would be relieved and the fluid would go through.
I saw a picture. I couldn't find. You probably took it down because I couldn't find it
really?
again. But or maybe I just didn't look right. But I remember seeing a picture of you on Instagram or something.
Oh
With
yeah,
that,
if you look at Instagram,
just
the ones
being
I'm
like-
tagged in.
being like, oh my god, dude, oh my god, because I heard about it. Somebody that was there with you, somebody that knew you or was around you at the time, told me about it. It was like, dude, the homie Andy fucking took a spill,
Yeah.
and then I saw that like shortly after. You know, I was just like,
Dude,
damn, dude,
I
like,
know.
fuck.
I know. This is crazy. Dude, it was crazy. Then when the craziest thing about the whole process is like when I came out and I woke up, like so many people in my family are there, you know? My grandma, my
Yeah.
aunts, my my uncles, my mom, my dad, like all the homies from skate camp. So many fucking homies from skate camp. It was like overwhelming for my dad that he had to be like, hey, hold on, we need like 2 of you
Yeah.
to come in at a time.
Yeah.
Because if they all came in, the whole room would have been packed because there
Yeah.
was so many homies. It was sick, dude. And that was the craziest because I was still like, if you have trauma to your brain, there's no way of understanding or knowing how you might be affected by it.
Yeah.
Because like if you fucking hit your elbow or something, like you can see it, you can feel it when you turn it, you know if you touch it, like fuck, so you can kind of like resist those things. But if it's your brain, you have no fucking clue.
Yeah.
And you don't know until for me, it's constantly a reflection where I realize like, oh shit, that's right, I totally used to do that, or I totally forgot I did that. How crazy, you know? So like I was probably like 10 or 15 mentally when I came out of the coma.
Really?
And yeah, so like I couldn't form like full sentences the right way, and I couldn't like phrase things the right way.
Did you remember like how much memory loss did you remember you and your name and your family? Did you forget any of that stuff when you woke up?
Yes, I would say I forgot how to express those things.
Oh, so you like knew, but
I knew, but I
didn't
couldn't
like
know.
tell. Like if somebody asked who is that, you're like,
It would be
know.
more like so many people would come through every day when I was finally woken up, and they'd be like, "Hey, dude, it's Andy. Are you okay?" And I'm like, "My guy, remember that barbecue we went to that one time, like 8 years ago, when you had those crazy orange shoes?" And they're like, "You remember me?" I'm like, yeah, I can't remember your name, but those orange shoes are sick, you know?
Yeah.
I could bring back like details from our
shit,
stories
yeah.
together, you know? But then in time, because they say traumatic brain injuries take 3 years to heal. So in time, my memories started to come back a little bit further, or my ability to express them came back.
Okay.
And like other things of like names and means of like values and like setting goals and those like little things that you think like, oh, who wouldn't do that? I couldn't fucking do that.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know how for some reason. And I'm like such a goal-oriented person that of course I forget it. And then once I remember, I'm like, oh God, that's right, you know? But dude, it was just an interesting thing. And it happened like 15 days before I was gonna have my show. So it's crazy, dude. Dude, and what's crazy is like it's taken me hella long to heal, you know, and like come back. And there's times even now when I would get frustrated when I'm skating, and it's just like such a pain and I always wear a helmet no matter what.
yeah.
Everybody out there,
You wear one of those ones like almost like the hockey helmet.
full cut,
Yeah,
baby. Oh yeah, dude.
Fuck
God damn
yeah,
it.
I would. Fuck yeah, dude.
Dude, I've done like so much stupid ass research on fucking helmets. I'm trying to find like not one that's too like stiff because it fucking hurts, dude. I got
Yeah.
Protect. They're the dopest. And
They
I have
are.
a Protect snow helmet, but it is like the CPSA certified or some shit. It's like a bicycle helmet. Dude, my homie Jesse Zer and I were bombing Boreal the other day, and I just like clipped where the slush had turned to ice, and I fell and hit my head, and it was like the craziest feeling. However, I was okay, and I wasn't like tripping. It was more just like a slam that really hurt, and my skull was just sore.
Yeah.
Just like how you hit your hand, and that was sore.
rattled.
So it's like, okay, good. I know that it's not necessarily affecting my brain in a negative way because of this comfort, or I mean, not lack of comfort, but because it's like strong thing. But dude, I need to find that gooey, fucking gusher type helmet that's super squishy and nice.
Yeah.
So I'm still looking out there. But yeah, I always wear helmets and I always protect that shit. But yes, as I was saying, it was hard for me to be in skating again because my frustrations came back. But that was honestly now I'm realizing a part of the brain healing
Yeah.
is it has to deal with emotions in a new way. And you have to open your mind of being aware of looking into things in a new way of like, I could have totally let this happen when I was younger, but I have to not, or I have the chance to not do it now. I just have to figure out how I don't do it, you know?
Yeah.
Fuck, I got to change and I can do it. And in time, it all changes, and it's cool that the growing is occurring, but fuck, my dad's always like, you gotta tell people to wear their helmets, Andy. And I'm like, Dad, I love you. I'm not gonna tell people to wear their helmets because I feel like to each their own, it's their choice, you know?
Yeah.
But I would highly advocate the use of helmets if you'd like to protect your head and not get a TBI, only because they fucking suck.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, your brain's pretty important.
It's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, I don't wear a helmet, but I don't push myself to the level where I feel like I might need one.
Yeah.
But it also is still in the back of my head, like just a misstep,
Dude.
just a one little misstep
off a
slip,
ladder,
you know,
if you're
like,
riding a motorcycle, in a car. Dude, it's crazy because I was connected to so many people who had TBIs, traumatic brain injuries. After my injury, and when I was like awake, people would call me, and people that I'd know about, you know. And for instance, Dave Berkhold, who has D-Block skateboards, and it's like he's so sick. Him and his brother have been coming up to camp before I've been going there, you know, 30 years. And he called me. He's like, "Yo, dude, are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "Well, I know about your injury. Like, I just want to know how are you feeling? Like, are your thoughts there?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course." He's like, "Well, you know, my brother had a traumatic brain injury from a car accident." And I was like, "No fucking way, dude," because I thought that his brother was just like a mentally handicapped individual.
Oh.
Just somebody who was possibly just born with something.
Yeah.
I don't even know, autism or who knows. Because the way you'd be like, "Yo, dude, what's up?" And he'd be like,
it's like real slow.
"Hi." You know, and that's how he was with everything. Like, "Do you want some food?" No. Like, okay, cool. But he was like, "Yeah, my brother, because he was in the car accident, he had a serious traumatic brain injury. And thankfully for me, even though I hit my head, I could have been going faster, or the fall could have been higher, which would have, thankfully, because I fell in a way, it wasn't like straight. I don't even fucking know, actually. I fell fucking hard. I'm full of shit.
Yeah, dude, you're the fucking bottom of the San
Full of
Fran
shit.
Hill.
I don't even know how, but dude, somehow it all made sense to me. And it honestly opened my mind to that there are so many things when we meet people that we just don't fucking know. And that's chill. It's totally fine. Everybody has their own backstories in their own lives. And I didn't know that he had a similar thing to me. And now that I do, I feel like I can connect with him so much deeper than anyone else, even though he may not be able to express himself verbally as others can. It's still like, fuck it. That's kind of beautiful in its own way.
It is, because it's beautiful that you recognize that, even after what you've been through, that your brain still allows you to recognize things like that, which means, I mean, you got so fucking lucky.
I know, dude. Like, I got so lucky. And I laugh because I'm so stoked.
Because, I mean, we hear a lot about people with traumatic brain injuries becoming completely different people.
Yeah.
Emotionally, angry and frustrated. And it's because they're not recognizing that. Mm-hmm. So they get frustrated, they get angry, and they just lose their shit. So it's really good to hear that you're still like, that your comprehension and your capability of critical thinking is still on point. You know?
Yes.
And it seems like your long-term memory is pretty good because you recited your history pretty well with us at the beginning.
Oh, thank you, sir.
When we first started the show, you kind of just like rattled off everywhere you've been. I mean, it would take me longer to tell you where I've,
Where was I yesterday?
Yeah, let me think about that. So.
Well, dude, I would say this. Actually, what I was trying to say earlier is that, and referencing it to this, is that I got lucky. I did get hella lucky because they didn't have to take any of my brain out. They didn't have to take any pieces of my brain. And as far as like what happened, it's more of like, it was a fucking slam, but it was more of like a crazy bruise. And there may be dead tissue, but for the most part, I got kind of lucky because they were able to give me a craniotomy so soon, which I found out they had never done before. I was like one of the first persons they get a craniotomy to within the first few days. Dude, I went to like some like speaking. I went back to the hospital and there were like hella doctors.
Medical conference?
Medical conference. And they're asking me questions like, "How was it?" I'm like, "What? Are you fucking kidding me?" it was great, you know? It worked out awesome. I'm like, wow, well, just so you know, you could have died. Like, oh, yeah, for sure. And that was the thing is, like, that was the hardest part for my family is that I could have died the whole time. You know, there's, like, ins and outs, and they weren't sure where I was going to go. But the thing for me is I don't ever want to fucking complain when I'm hurt, and I don't want to be stuck in a place that I don't want to be. I'd rather be chilling where I'm chilling, you know? And that's from, like, dude, I've rolled my ankles so many fucking times. I've hurt my knees, I've hurt my elbows, snowboarding, skating, whatever. And I know, like, if I go to the doctors, those motherfuckers are going to misdiagnose me, you know? Or, like, because when I broke my ankle that one time, we went to Scripps down in San Diego, and we went in, and the doctor's like, oh, yeah, dude, you got, like, 6 months and you'll be fine. Then when I went home, I was still fucked, and we went to NCOC, the Northern California Orthopedic Center. And it's, like, up off Dewey, like, really close to where Del Campo, my high school, is. And they checked my ankle out. They're like, nope, you've broken 2 legs, or 2 bones, and you fractured all of your shit, and we need to put this together. It's like, oh, you motherfuckers.
And you've been, like, walking around on it?
Yep. Trying to.
Well, like limping around on it.
Yeah, more just kind of like squishing about, if you will. People were just kind of pushing me and holding me. I did nothing. I was on a sled. But because of that, I've always just been like, nah, I'm not about this. So when I was in the hospital, they would wake me up from my medically induced coma. And this was before I had my real mind back as far as like knowing that I was awake. And I started doing shit like hitting up the homies, like my homie Jordan, who's the director of skate camp now, and my homie Augie, who is a writer for Doomsayers actually, and things. He's the homie. They were just chilling there, and I was like, hey, yo, my guys, yo, can you hand me my pants? And they're like, why do you want your pants? Like, yo, let me get my pants real quick. Come on, let me get my pants. Like, dude, why do you want your pants? They're like, oh, I just got my stuff in there. Like, oh, your wallet? I'm like, no. They're like, your inhaler? I was like, no. They're like, what? I was like, I got my knife in my pants. I'm like, what? Why do you want your knife? I was like, dude, well, you guys are hungry. I'm hungry. I can get out of here. We'll go get some food. Like, dude, I tried to get everyone to give me scissors or knives so I can clip myself because I didn't want to be there because what I didn't say is that they plugged IVs into me, of course, and they put the full scope into my throat so that I could eat. And at one point, I was so over it, I ripped it all out. Ugh. I ripped it out, and I pulled the top out, and they had to zip tie my hands kind of to the side so I wouldn't leave because I didn't want to fucking be there. And it wasn't a disrespect by no means. It was just because I just didn't want to fucking be there and I couldn't understand why I was there. Yeah. But there was this one time this nurse was like kind of whack, and even though I did say I'm not much of like an aggressive person, this totally backfired in my face because I did this too. But the nurse, who was super mean, she was like in there and they'd wake me up from the coma to be like, Andy, can you see this? Can you see this? Hold up your fingers. Point. But she was just like, come on, Andy, wake up. Come on, hey. Come on, time to wake up. And I punched her in the face. Mind you, I am one hand locked to my bed. Woke up from a fucking medically induced coma and some bitch is like trying to push me around like, shut up, you know? So they put me back in the coma and she's just like, oh, how could he? And everyone, including my father, were just like, you know, like, sorry.
What do you want us to say?
All the other nurses, all the other doctors, they laughed about it because, like, yeah, she's just like that, you know? Yeah. And it's like, oh, now that I found out about it and I heard about it, I was like, oh, shit. My bad. But at the same time, like, dude, I just don't want to be in those
Shouldn't have been shaking me.
Shouldn't have been shaking me too hard. Yeah. A little bit too much is not good for either one of us, you know?
I was dealing with a brain injury.
No, but yeah, going back to the brain injury in the sense of I didn't lose any fragments of it, whereas someone like Dave's brother from the car accident, he had to lose a fragment of it, which you could think is gone. Like, whatever, it's just like a little bit of us, but dude, the brain is so fucking complex, but you don't know what fragments will do what, like the amygdala, way down in the back, which is flight or fight, has been so hardcore in my mind because this part that I got fucked up, that's the one that would think like, what could I do in this situation?
The reason.
I could get angry or I could just rest. I think if I rested, ultimately, I'd be fine. And then this one's like, resting would be sitting over here, moving over here, doing these things. It's more like the logistics. Yeah. And the amygdala is the fight or flight. You fucking do it or you leave. And for some reason, because this one's fucked up, every time it's just that, where I'm at the skate park, someone is like coming into my way and I'm just like, ah! You know, like someone's like, what, fool? And I'm like, what? I rip off my shirt.
So you're like, are you quick to anger then?
yes.
Like
Boom. Frustration instantly.
confrontation, you're just ready for it.
Yep, ready.
Damn.
And that is from the amygdala, it releases a serious amount of adrenaline.
Yeah.
So whether it is fight where you're just like, ah, or flight where you're just like, ah, the intensity is still felt with adrenaline. So
Yeah.
if you're leaving, you're extremely bummed. So dude, the things that I've been in mentally have been so strange. Because for the most part, I've always been like a happy person, just like, talking shit, smiling, whatever. But to go through this and to experience what it's like to be depressed or to feel sadness and to go through things of like injury and not getting right back into skateboarding or taking a break from some things, you know, like I lived in Oakland for a little bit and was like trying to get jobs. It's like, I can't do this. I got to go home and just rest right now.
Yeah.
To go through that has been crazy. But at the end of the day, I can't help but think about like, damn, I got hella fucking lucky. And for the most part, life is super dope. And I kind of have a second life right now. If that one was my first, even though they're still the same one, I just didn't die.
Yeah.
There is kind of a way of looking at it. Like that was where I learned the first initial things. And now's a time where it's like, I can just appreciate everything that comes my way. I don't give a fuck, dude. Life's too good to be bummed on anything. You
Right?
know?
Yeah.
I can't drink. That's the thing from hitting my head.
Can't
That's
drink.
the crazy
Like,
shit.
Your doctors told you that, or
Yeah.
you tried drinking and it's like
Yep.
bad, like not good.
Both.
Are you on medication?
Yeah,
at
I'm
all?
on medication.
Okay, so is it you can't drink because of the medication
Nope.
or because of your brain?
The brain.
Oh, what does it do? What
chemistry.
happened? What happened?
Dude, it's so crazy. So they were just like, you can have like one beer, maybe a week or something like
That's
that.
no fun.
No, but if you have more, it's not gonna be good. So we don't recommend
Not gonna
it.
be good for you.
Yeah, which I mean, it was like for sure. I'll listen to you, but at the same time, like I'm gonna do it. They told me I couldn't skateboard. Like fuck that shit, dude. I'm gonna put a helmet on.
I'll
I'm
tell
gonna
you
skateboard.
a lot of things.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking drink a beer. So every once in a while, I would drink one beer, you know, and it was chill. But then it was my ex's birthday, and we had beer pong outside, and nobody really wanted to play. So I was playing with everybody, and I was just like, whatever. And I only drank 4 beers, and it was crazy because I wasn't drunk, and I didn't feel drunk, and I thought like, yes, dude, I'm making movement and progress. Like I've healed this much that I can drink and be totally fine. Well, dude, I didn't get drunk that night, but the next week, 7 fucking days was the worst I've ever felt in my life. The worst.
7-day hangover.
7-day hangover. Dude, and I didn't understand what it was until not that long ago when I tried drinking again. Because it was like, I got hurt, and then I waited almost a year, and I drank, and I was like, nope, and I waited. And then almost another year to that day, I was like, oh, if I can try drinking it again. And I drank a few beers, and the same thing happens. And what I've learned is that it's not as though I don't get drunk when I drink right away. I get a prolonged drunk.
Yeah.
That even when reason and normal mindset's coming in, I'm still like fumbling, or I'm forgetting things, or I'm like saying shit, or like being all weird about stuff. It's because I'm still
Yeah,
fucking drunk.
your brain just cannot handle that shit right now.
No. So, I mean, it's chill. We go to like the bars and stuff, and I just get water, and everybody else gets beer, and I don't spend that much money. So that's
Yeah,
great.
dude. Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, I smoke weed because the cannabinoids in our body and like the different substances.
That could definitely help with pain management and the neurons, the brain.
Dude,
you know.
for sure. There've been.
So,
Go ahead.
Sorry, no, I didn't mean to cut you off. But do you take anything else? Like,
Yes.
Like obviously you're on your medication, but like supplements to help with like brain growth or anything like that.
Yes. Magnesium I take. And that is something that you can get in with your diet, but for most Americans, or for us, just for what we have available to us, it's kind of difficult, you know, as far as like what we eat all the time and what's there. There's so many fucking options.
Well, and you need a little extra.
Yeah.
So
Gotta get that little extra. So I just take like the powder every night before I go to bed because it helps me sleep. Because that's the thing. Since I hit my head, it's been hella hard for me to sleep, and that really helps calm the body, and it's good for it. And
where'd you learn about that? The doctors or what?
No, from this book on sleeping, and it was like the different techniques you need to sleep better.
Okay, so the magnesium is for sleeping.
Yep.
Not for your brain necessarily.
Does,
it does kind of help with the brain, but
definitely.
you take it for the sleeping.
I take it intentionally for the sleeping. That's my reason. However, the idea with magnesium is that it's something that goes into our blood flow, which is ultimately our blood chemistry, and that flows into the brain.
Yeah.
So the chemistry with which that we put shit into, or the chemistry with which it allows to put out, is like the craziest thing. So if you add things to it, then it will like make it better. So the magnesium does affect the brain in that realm. So
Okay.
I do that. B3000, which is some shit. B12 or something.
Yeah.
Bunch of other stuff my doctors told me about. And for the most part, it's just like multivitamins and like fish oil type stuff. Just things of that nature.
Right on.
Glucosamine, if you will.
So have you heard anything about mushrooms and psilocybin?
Yes, I have. It's amazing.
Microdosing?
Yep. It's so fucking dope.
Yeah?
Dude, so I don't microdose pretty much often. However, in the time that I've hit my head, I've learned about it and I've thought about it and I've contemplated it because I do like smoking weed for how it can ultimately like mellow me out without antidepressants. Like with weed, it's almost the same shit, but it's like, duh, you know, I don't have to take a pill or nothing. I like this. Yeah. So I was thinking like, well, maybe that would be dope. And my homie Connor, the person who I was with when I hit my head, he works at skate camp with me and he's just like, I, of course, don't work for the YMCA now. I work for Elemental Awareness, teaching wilderness survival to the kids. And it was a day where camp wasn't in session, so we were all chilling. He was just like, would you like to? I was having a hard time. And I took just, like, the tiniest little bit, and it was crazy how it, like, how relieving it was and how, like, back to normal I felt. And things like that, for me, is, like, a huge advance. Because it's like, fuck, dude, I haven't felt this since before I hit my head.
Yeah.
I haven't felt just relaxed and calm. This is dope as shit.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about it too, where you take such a minute amount that it like you don't feel any like the psychoactive effects.
Yeah.
But it's like taking a muscle relaxer that's 100% natural. And apparently there's been some studies that have been coming out saying that psilocybin can actually help regrow the neurons in your brain.
Yes. That's what I heard with ayahuasca and DMT and things of that nature, is that they've done it with people who have either post-traumatic stress disorder or
TBI,
TBIs or anything that's really traumatic. They put them, or ADHD.
Smokers.
Or
It's been getting people off depression.
Dude, so much shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty sick. But it honestly, for us to think like things like this are impossible, it's like, there's no way, dude. There's people that have been living before us for so fucking long that did the craziest shit, and they didn't have what we have. They had some other crazy shit, which was probably from the land, which was probably this crazy shit that we were acting like we shouldn't be doing, but maybe we should.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Like, why don't we stop putting chemicals in and looking at what occurs naturally? You know?
Well, dude, funny you bring that up, because I have always had a hard time with any sort of pills or chemicals, because I don't want to fucking do that shit. I'm such a hard ass, or hard head, not hard ass at all. It's very soft. But I've thought about like how the fuck do I get out of this? And dude, basically in America, we are so part of the culture of pharmaceuticals, and pharmaceuticals is what we pay for, right?
Yeah.
And pharmaceuticals is who pays doctors to get us to pay for them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like doctors are sponsored by pharmaceutical companies to represent the best shoes that are out, which are really the best antidepressants that you should take. So I'm going to take it. Dude, but ultimately, we looked at the long spectrum of that. My mother is a family therapist, and she's super dope, and she always takes me to these things where it's about trauma and other things. It's like Dr. Van Kolf or something like that. I can't remember his last name. But he was talking about the different aspects of getting over trauma. And with the pharmaceuticals and doing those types of things, antidepressants, you have a pretty much 6-month window in which it will work.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to take it for 6 months. And then after that,
Gotta change it.
there's no saying of what will happen.
Well, that's why you're always like changing those. Like people who are on those medications are constantly changing them up.
Changing it, right. They're not stopping because the mental change doesn't occur. It's just the decision to get more of whatever that shit is. And then he's like, neurofeedback. Are you guys familiar with neurofeedback?
In what way?
Do you know what it is?
No.
Dope. This is awesome. So, dude, I didn't know what the fuck neurofeedback was either. And neurofeedback is basically like, It's what's used in other parts of the world, parts like Sweden or Norway or Denmark, or places that when you hear about them, you think like, that's a really nice fucking advanced place. Like, that's crazy. Well, that's the shit that they do. They do neurofeedback. They don't take the drugs that we do because they know that it doesn't fucking benefit them in any way. But before I get into neurofeedback, I'll go back to the doctor and tell them that the doctor was like 6 months for antidepressants, and the longevity of neurofeedback is almost endless as far as like however long you want to do it for, that's up to you. But as far as how it will benefit you, it won't stop. Because basically what it is like, I'm sitting in a chair and I have a screen in front of me, and there's probably like, I've got headphones on or big ass speakers that are right here. And what's playing on the screen is like the most trippy fucking acid mushroom trip you've ever seen. Oh, colors, shapes, movements, and it's just mesmerizing. Like, what the fuck? And you've got a sensor that's clipped to this part of your ear. There's one like clip. There's like a little disc that you kind of like get some goo and like poke it onto right here and here, and then another sensor here. And this reads into the machine that reads to the computer. And basically, when I sit down, I'm all plugged up, ready to go. You just click play, and it's like, boo.
So putting hertz through your brain, right? Yeah.
No, it doesn't hurt at all.
No, hertz is like the frequency. It's like putting like a wavelength of sound through
in
your
it.
head, yeah.
But the sound that you were actually listening to, it's just like it's like fire, or it's like water,
yeah,
or it's like metal is mixed in for a track. But then it's like some lady being like, yeah, and it's like, fuck, this is goddamn relaxing. But then it stops for a second, just like a computer loads. How it will take a second and then play, and then take a second and then play. That's what the music does. And what's really happening is it's reconnecting the brain chemistry to a new area. So you're actually healing while you're fucking listening to music.
Interesting.
And dude, my mom, she's the fucking best. I love my mom. She's so sick. My mom and dad, they're such wonderful human beings. She is a family therapist, and she wanted to get neurofeedback to help me out. And she was just like, fuck it, I'm just going to do it and offer it to my clients too. So we have neurofeedback in my house on this like little thing, and I do it every single day.
Sick.
But it's crazy because to see, they ask you to do it consistently. Like, you got to do it within 40 days. And the little girl that the doctor told us about, who took neurofeedback when she was a little girl, it was like, dude, her mom was dead. Her father was addicted to pretty much everything. Her life was really fucking hard. She got to the point where she just like is dropping out of school. She hates it. She's 16. She's over life, super depressed. And she has ADHD. And she has, and she has seizures or something like that,
Epilepsy?
Epilepsy. Thank you very much.
Jeez.
So.
She got the cocktail, huh?
She just did neurofeedback every single day for 2 years in a row. That same girl is, not only does she have her PhD, she's a general manager for one of the main hospitals in England.
Fuck yeah.
And is like running life.
Yeah, running life.
Running life. And the way she talks about it is like, well, it was crazy. I would be doing these antidepressants, or I'd be doing these things, but I fucking hated life, and I didn't know why. And then I started doing neurofeedback, and it all started changing. And like, I was just mellowing out. And here I am. But that shit is real, dude, because I've been doing it, and I've been doing it for the last 23 days or something like that.
Oh, so you just started? Like recently?
Recently, I did start before skate camp, and I went 10 times in a row. But they say you're supposed to do 40, so I took a break, and then I came back and tried to finish for another 20, but I was always like here and there. So I wasn't very adamant about it, but now that I have been and been doing it every single day, dude, it's crazy how much I can feel a difference of like today I think I'm going to clean my room. Today I'm going to organize my things. Today I'm going to reflect on my old literature or my art. What the fuck? I was in art? Oh shit, I'm going to draw some shit. Oh shit, I'm going to make this. Like, all these things are coming back just as how I worked before I hit my head.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, dude. And what the best part about it is like, you just get to sit back and relax and watch whatever the fuck crazy acid trips happening, listening to some crazy music, and usually my dogs are around, so I'm always like throwing the ball and chilling. But then within a few days, I can't say how I feel better, but it's somebody else will come up to me, like my mom, and be like, did you notice that instead of getting angry, you did this? Or instead of responding in a certain way that you were calm?
I did, didn't I? Yes.
Dude, and it's like the reflection of like, oh, fuck. I did. I didn't even realize that. Yup. So it's like, oh, this is good. I'm down.
Sick.
Yeah.
Well, in retrospect, it's still pretty recent.
Yes, it is.
2 years.
2 years.
So
it's one more year until the full, hopefully, recovery will be. And then...
So it's amazing that you've come this far in just 2 years.
Dude, yeah.
I mean, I know personally a couple of guys that took some pretty gnarly head smacks, and never were the same.
Yeah.
Like never were the same. Just completely
sure.
different human beings. You know, and Trino is probably one that he took a pretty gnarly. Wasn't that he smacked the back of his head real hard.
Yeah.
And he got pretty lucky too. He came out of it, not unscathed, but he's still Trino.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, some guys they go away and they just don't come back.
Well, dude, that's the fucked up thing is that even though for me this happened in one instance, and it's like it was such a powerful instance that really affected my life, it actually happens to all of us throughout our lives. And one group I can say would represent that is football players because I mean, they're always crashing into each other's, but the serious post-traumatic stress that they have is not from a traumatic brain injury. It's from multiple traumatic brain injuries.
Every day.
Because it's another thing. I think Ducky just did a thing for Jenkem Mag about the truth to hitting your head slowly but surely over and over. If you keep doing it, it's just like if you keep hitting your hand over years. It's like, fuck, I hit it again. Well, from when you were 20 to when you're 50, your hands would be kind of fucked up in a certain way, you know? It's not going to be able to do all those things. And that would be reflected because your brain is going to get deteriorated if you don't give it the proper protection. So I didn't think about any of this shit ever until I fucking hit my head and had to be told about it all. And now that I think about it, it's like, fuck, man.
Yeah, why don't you tell me about this before?
We did. We told you to wear a helmet.
We tried to tell you. No, you didn't. You never said anything about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's all crazy stuff.
It is unfortunate that wearing a helmet is so uncool.
Yes, I would say yes, but at the same time, who fucking gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like, dude, there's so many movements. Dude, skateboarding is the concept or is a part of a concept of saying, nah, fuck that, I'm gonna do what I want. And if you say that it isn't, then you're not a real fucking skateboarder. Because that's what this has been about since the goddamn beginning.
Yeah.
Because those surfers wanted to enjoy surfing, but they brought it to the streets. They want to do whatever they fucking wanted. They wanted to do it in a pool, so they did it at somebody else's pool.
Yeah.
We want to skate spots, but the police tell us we can't. We don't give a fuck. We're still going to do it. But you're telling me I can't wear a helmet? Shut the fuck up. I'm going to nollie flip over you. I'm going to nollie flip over your friend. I'm going to nollie flip over everybody with my fucking helmet on. Like, and there's, especially with like, I think it's a beautiful growth how gender has been amplified or expanded within skateboarding, how girls are kind of coming into the game, or how transgendered people, like whether they're guys now, whether they're girls now, how they're giving that a shot. And some people would be like, oh, that's so fucking whack. And it's like, yo, you shut your fucking mouth. How is that fucking whack?
Yeah.
Tell me where you've been in this world. Tell me where you've traveled. Only here? Only in America?
Yeah, then shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth. You go to any other country, you're not going to be able to know how to communicate with people other than your skateboard. I made friends in Spain because of my fucking skateboard. I didn't know how to speak Spanish.
Yeah.
I would say, hola. And they'd say, hola, ¿cómo estás? And I'd say, hola. Well, like, what the fuck? But then we'd skate, and then we became friends, and that's how I learned Spanish better. Dude, and that's the same with skateboarding. Like, why not? Why can't we expect people who are transgendered or who are girls? And if I could have sex with a beautiful girl and skateboard with her, it's like, why wouldn't I do that?
Yeah, right?
That's amazing. But regardless of that, to say, like, yes, I have thought, like, man, that's kind of a bummer that I have to wear a helmet. I feel so weird. But then I finally got to a point where it's like, nope, I want to live. Fuck off. If you got a problem with it, don't skate with me. Like, whatever.
I mean, you probably haven't experienced anybody that's really had a problem with it, though, right?
No, just like a few times. Like, I remember this one kid at the park in Santa Clara. No, I can't remember the park name. Anyways, down there near Santa Clara, he was just like, "Oh, you're wearing a helmet? Why are you wearing a helmet?" You know, he's just like crazy. And I told him, I was like, "Oh, it's because of this." And he was like, "Whoa." That was like the only time. Other than that, for the most part, because not that many people wear helmets, people tend to know like that it's something serious. So every once in a while, someone will be like,
say that.
"Hey, is it okay if I ask you?" People are so polite. And I'm not the type of person who will be like too shy to be like, "No, I don't want to talk about it." It's like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Here I was skating, hit my head. Just saying, bro. and it's really cool. For the most part, the only experience that I've really received has been just like empathetic and calm and very nice.
Well,
just like,
especially, I mean, unfortunate as it is, skateboarders, although we are accepting of one another, we are judgy. And if a skateboarder is good, we'll pretty much accept whatever he does.
yeah.
Like if you're ripping and you're riding fucking pink grip tape and you got a helmet on and you're wearing Daisy Dukes and but you're ripping, people are like, "Oh, fuck it, cool.
Do as
you know
you
what I mean?
wish."
Yeah, whatever. Wearing that same exact outfit and setup, you roll in and you're like just learning. Oh, look at this fucking guy over here.
Get the fuck
Get
out
the
of
fuck
here.
out of here, you fuck. You know what I mean? It's weird how that rolls.
Yeah.
And you even though you took a little bit of time off because of the injury, you still have good flow. You skate. You know what I mean? Like, like when people see you on a skateboard, it's like, oh, that guy knows how to skate.
Yeah.
So you could pretty much do whatever you want. You know what I mean?
I got
Like,
lucky.
people would be like, oh, well, all right, cool.
Yeah, I got away with it. Sometimes I wear a cape. Sometimes I don't wear anything, and it's all fun.
No, that's just Andy. That's cool.
At it again. No, but yeah, it's pretty chill. I've enjoyed the experience so far, and like, as I said, my father is like, you gotta tell people to wear helmets, and that's not really my vibe. But what I'm going to do is I have poodles. I have a puddle of poodles at my house.
A puddle of poodles?
Yeah, dude. We have a standard poodle named Molly who's like 13. He's so fucking sick. And we have a party poodle, which is basically how poodles were originally bred and how all dogs were originally bred for the most part. And that would be the mix of colors. And you can see those in like so many dogs. Like Brendan Sodelman's dog, you see it in the color, I can't remember what they're called, setters or whatever. But it's like they'll have a brown with white, brown, white, just like freckles all over their body. That's how poodles used to be in all dogs. So we have one of those, but they're called party poodles. And it's Molly. She's got a black head with white and black dots. Dude, she's a fucking elegant queen. She's so sick. She runs our house, dude. We do whatever the fuck she wants. Dude, she sleeps on the couch. We just fucking let her do it. And then we have Tuffy, and he's a golden retriever poodle mix, a golden doodle.
Whoa,
and
golden doodle.
Golden doodle. Dude, he's hella sick. But my friend Frankie asked me to make a children's book about them and about somebody hurting their head or falling. And I was thinking about making.
That's a good idea.
I was gonna make right now I haven't really started it on Instagram, but it's basically like a comic series on Instagram where it's like you would have one image and you can swipe to the right to get all three, and that would explain the story. And it's about the poodles experiencing life in their own dog animal world, but it's very similar to human world as far as like deeper meaning or stories or things like that, you know?
Yeah.
And then what's gonna happen is Tuffy is gonna get hella into skating.
You're not gonna give away this.
Oh yeah, I can't.
No, yeah, don't give it away.
I can't, dude. Thank you so much.
Don't give the ending away, bro.
I'm not gonna give the ending away. We're gonna learn a lot about the characters, and then I'm gonna make a book.
And we'll be able to see these on your Instagram.
Yes, you will.
Which is Jan Narlos.
Jan Snarlos.
Snarlos.
My homie Mike, he like posted on Instagram days ago, I think either a drawing. I think it was his drawing of like a snarling coyote, which he's such a talented artist, and he's like, is it a yawn or a snarl? And I said, yo, that's Jan Snarlos. And he's like, that's your name. So it's always been Jan Snarlos, like Juan Carlos, but Jan Snarlos. And there's the poodle with the helmet on.
We're taking a look at his Instagram page here. So if you want to follow him, it's Jan Snarlos. It's YAWNSNARLOS. You got an awesome Instagram page, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, that's tough. That's tough money.
Yeah, you got a pretty awesome page.
Thanks.
Okay, so let's go back. You got, we're 2 years later now, and you're full on skating again.
Yeah, I would say so. I kind of like mix it up. I am full on skating as far as like I have the ability to, but I rolled my ankle not that long ago, probably like, nah, it's like 2 or 3 months ago. So I kind of like chill off of that for a second because I just got to let it heal.
Yeah.
But I would do things like yoga and just wait. And then snowboarding came along. So now I've been snowboarding a lot and mixing skateboarding.
Dude, snowboarding is so dangerous.
I know, but I fucking love it.
It goes so fast, bro. You're going down that motherfucker so fast. And the snow is so deceiving.
I know.
Because you're like, nah, it's cool. I'll just fall on it. I'll just
Nope.
tuck and roll. And it's like you hit it and it's fucking concrete,
Dude,
some of that shit.
Sometimes it is concrete.
Bro, I'm not an avid snowboarder. I've been a decent amount of times and I got good enough to where I was like catching a little bit of air, some slides,
Okay.
you know. So like I could do like 360s on flat and
Okay.
basics.
Yeah.
Okay? Then I started to actually like trying shit, you know, and I got put out one season because I was just coming down the mountain, got to the end, the bottom of the hill, went to stop, caught some ice on my front and just right to my face. And I just didn't go back for the rest of the season because I just smashed my whole face,
Yeah,
just
fuck
destroyed
that.
my shit. Like broke my goggles, hit so hard on my face. And then the next season, I was up at like Boreal, and they had that little like mini park right in the front,
Oh, yeah.
and they had like a little Wally box
Oh,
at
yeah.
the very bottom. And I had been hitting a little kicker, doing some like little grabs, some little tweaks, a couple little 180s and stuff.
Yeah.
Like feeling it. Did a switch Wally over that thing.
Whoa.
Did regular Wally over it. Was like, yeah, this is sick. Then I went to do a Wally and just like, I don't know what happened, but I ended up scorpion on the other side. Broke 2 ribs.
Oh, the ribs.
I literally slept sitting up for like 6 or 7 weeks. Like just I could not lay down, and my snowboard got put in the corner, and I'm just not.
That's enough of that.
Well, and it was on like a trip, so there was like 4 or 5 other people with us.
Yeah.
So I did it within the first like hour and a half of the day. So I broke them and was just like. Couldn't breathe, like hobbled over to the lodge and literally just sat in the lodge in one of those like cafeteria style tables, just leaning up against it just for like another like 3 hours before somebody came over and was like, dude, are you all right?
No.
I think we should go.
Somebody get this guy a Pepsi or something with some nachos.
I think we should go home. And and then when the drive home was just every bump.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I mean, it was bad, dude. It was so bad, and that was 2 years ago.
Okay.
So I'm like, nah, I don't want to fuck with it.
Yeah, fuck it, dude.
I don't want to fuck with it.
Not worth it.
Don't want to fuck with it. No, because I mean, I enjoy it, but I think snowboarding scares me more than it makes me happy.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
When I get down to the bottom of the hill, I assess my emotion, and I think I'm more happy to not have died than to be like on the run that I just did. You know what I mean? Like I'm more stoked that I didn't die than I am on the tricks that I just did. So, you know, weighing my options because I'm not a hill bomber either.
Oh, okay.
I don't bomb hills. I don't skate super fast.
Okay.
I don't skate a lot of tranny.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
not a lot of translation there from skateboarding to snowboarding.
For sure. Very
'Cause
separate.
I'm like going way faster than I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
You know, on a surface that I don't know very well.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't like being cold or wet.
Yeah, it's not the place,
So
dude.
snowboarding isn't exactly the right, that's not exactly the right spot for me. So
Yeah, for sure. For me, it's like I grew up in Washington, so it's like raining all the fucking time. And then Mount Hood is right there, so I go to Timberline Lodge with all my homies, and I grew up snowboarding for so long that it's just like, oh yeah.
yeah, I think if I was around it more when I was younger, maybe the first time I went snowboarding, I was like 17.
Okay.
That was like the first, and because I paid for it, I went up and did it myself.
Damn.
You know, just to try it.
Yeah.
But that wasn't,
Fuck.
like that was the first time I went snowboarding.
Dude, and snowboarding's fucking hard.
Yeah, it was
Especially
fucking
to
hard.
learn. Dude, for the first year of while you're learning, it will hurt so much.
Well, what's funny is actually, we went and did, I paid to get up there, paid for my gear. My mom bought me a lesson. She was like,
cool.
she's like, why don't you just, I was like, no. And she's like, go do the lesson. So
Yeah.
she paid for a lesson. The dude basically taught me how to clip in, stand up, do the thing. And then I just like dipped. Like, I'm done with you, bro. And I figured it out. And then by the end of the day, I was like doing 180s.
Oh,
Because
sick.
I had already skated for like 7 years.
Yeah.
I was already a
balance was
very
there.
I knew how to skate really well. So it's like, oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
I'm attached. This is cool. And then you eat shit, and you're like, this is not cool.
No, yeah.
This is not cool.
Dude, it sucks. The way I think about snowboarding now is honestly how I think about skating and surfing. Because I surf too. You just don't ever fucking know.
Yeah.
You don't ever fucking know.
Never.
And like, dude, with surfing, you would never fucking know that all of a sudden you just happen to fall where the rock is and you hit your shoulder. Like, dude, there's a fucking ocean out here.
You just never know when a dolphin's just going to bust out of the wave and knock you off your board and think it's funny.
Dude, or if you're in Santa Cruz, people will be like, get out of here, kick, and like push you over and give you such bad vibes. Surfing is hard and it hurts.
Yeah.
Snowboarding is the same. Sometimes it's dope, and you never know when you hit ice. You never know when you clip the box. You never know when you catch your edge. It's like,
See, I think surfing's way harder.
oh, it only
Way harder.
well,
Only because
Yeah.
there's no chairlift to get you out to the wave.
yeah. It's like the thing with surfing is, it's like the same kind of concept in my mind as snowboarding, where it's difficult at first when you begin, but once you get it, it's good. But the thing with surfing is like, fuck, dude, it's so much upper body that
Yeah.
you seriously have to work out every day just to get to the point where you can begin to surf.
Yeah.
Dude, I when I was living in Costa Mesa working at Element, I would go surfing every morning before work. And no, after I worked at Element, I worked just for the nonprofit. That's when I'd do it. And I would still work out every day and then go either surf first and then work out, or work out and then surf, because I wanted to fucking do it. And I sucked for the whole year. But it's like, finally I started doing it. But now when you go out, because your body's used to it, it's just
your
like how your
muscles are
body's
there.
used to the push.
Yeah, but if you're not in good enough shape, you're putting your life at risk.
yes.
You know,
It's
like
gnar.
anybody. I mean, pretty much anybody with any kind of, if you got a little bit of balance, you can rent some snowboard shit or some ski shit, hop on the lift, take a little fall when you try to get off the lift, gather yourself up and fucking fly down the mountain, and you're okay, cool.
Yeah.
Surfing's like, no,
Nope.
dude, you need to, like, if you're not in shape, you might die.
You might die.
Like, you might die out there.
Could drown.
Like, there's a good chance that you'll probably die.
Yeah, it's crazy. So that, and then even skating, you never fucking know when you're gonna hit a rock, or you're gonna fucking,
Right?
like, your wheel's gonna bust, or you're gonna break your board, or you're gonna clip something. You never know. Sometimes just shit fucking happens and it sucks.
Yeah.
But at the same time, dude, I'm so happy to be alive, and that type of shit makes me so happy. So I'm gonna try to do whatever I can to be as safe as possible,
It's good. It's good.
but to do it as well, as safe as I can.
Yeah.
Not skating too hard, not snowboarding too hard, not surfing too hard. Doing it just to where it's mellow and chill. But I still get that enjoy what I've been doing for so long, you know? That feeling, like, it's such a crazy release. Like, after my head injury, before I got into, was able to skate again, the whole time, I just was, like, so bummed, you know?
Yeah.
And,
Fuck
like,
yeah.
dude, because that skating is like the time when you can let out so much expression. Doesn't matter if you get angry. Doesn't matter if you're hella happy. Doesn't matter if you feel nothing. Because once it's over, it's just like a mega shower to your whole soul. You're just like,
Yeah.
fuck whatever happens today. I skated. I don't give a shit, you know?
Yeah.
I surfed today. I don't fucking care. Or we're gonna go snowboarding. Like,
Yeah.
it's all good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm all about.
I explain to people who don't have something like skateboarding or surfing or whatever, I explain it to them, and it's like church. It's like some people, like, they have to go to church on Sunday to make themselves feel better, but either about themselves or just to have that release, to have that social aspect, to have whatever. It's that church. It's where they go and where they step in there.
Breathing is a
Yeah.
huge aspect to it.
You know, and so for me, especially that's what skateboarding is for me. It's my church, it's my gym, it's my
Dude.
it's my Friday night poker game. It's that social aspect for me. Even like the other day, I went to the Elk Grove Park, and there were two dudes that showed up. Like, I was there for a little bit, and then two guys showed up. I never seen them before, and we were like skating for a minute. We were both kind of skating. This Elk Grove is super small, so we were both kind of skating the same thing. And at one point, I just looked over and I was like, "Hey, dude, what's up?" And he like looked over at me all surprised, and I was like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" I'm like, "How you doing today?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm doing all right." I'm like, "Cool." And I started skating again. I was just like, man, I forced myself to say what's up, you know, because it's like, hey, we're both at the gym being social, dude. Like, what's up? Like, you speak skateboard, I speak skateboard.
Yup. That's the most important thing. Dude, that made me remember this one time. So when I was living in Spain, Christmas was coming up, and I was living, of course, going to school in the mornings, and I was living with this woman, Maria, who had her family that lived close, and my best friend Frankie, he lived there as well with us. But when it came to Christmas time, he went up and visited his family in England, and I didn't have anywhere to go. And I was like, fuck, what should I do? And she was like, go to Tenerife or Gran Canaria. Una isla, es increíble. Like, oh, it's a dope island?
Yeah, I know some guys there.
Yeah, fuck it, I'll go. So I went. First, I went to Madrid, and I chilled there, and I didn't know any friends, but one of the homies, Dylan Christopher, who works for New Balance and Elemental Awareness, and there he is right there. Aww. A very good friend of mine. He connected me to this homie named Eric, so when I would show up to Madrid, Eric would help house me for a few days before I go to Gran Canaries. And dude, I met Eric, and he's from fucking Poland or some shit, and he's hella cool, and he takes me all around Madrid, and I make so many friends with people from Madrid who I don't even really speak Spanish yet.
Yeah.
And then it's like super dope, but then I have to go to the Gran Canaries, and it's like, all right, I'll see you guys later. I go to the Gran Canaries, and I have no one there. I have no money because I spent it all in Madrid. I buy enough to have sandwiches, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 4 days while I'm there. 3 days, excuse me, because I was going to leave the day after Christmas. And it was whatever, you know? I was just going to cruise. I was at a hostel. I was just going to cruise around the island. And it's a sick-ass island. And there's a skate park right downtown at the top next to all these surf spots, which is really sick. Yeah. And skate spots.
Yeah.
But I go up there. I'm skating. It's lit at night. I'm chilling. And there's like this whole crew of people skating. And there's this one dude that's skating next to me. And you kind of look at each other, you know? And he's like, ¿De dónde eres? And I'm like, yo soy de California. He's like, no way! I used to live in Washington. I'm like, dude.
Oh, shit.
I used to live in Washington. And then we just talked for days. And then they're just like, all right, well, come skate with us tomorrow. So he was actually homies with all the homies of the Gran Canaria Islands. And we all went skating the next day, and they took me everywhere, all over the island.
Oh, man, you probably skated with some of my dudes out there.
Dude, probably. And then they're like, what do you want to do? Do you want to stay here? And I'm like, I got to go home. And I'm like, all right, well, if you want to stay here, you can. So I went to go get my plane, and they're like, lo siento, pero algo ha pasado. No se puede ir en avión. Like, something has happened. You can't go in the plane. And I was like, all right. And I went back to the skate park, and I was just like, I don't know where I can stay. I don't really have any money. And they're like, you can stay with us. And I got to stay for an extra 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
2 weeks in the Gran Canaria Islands. We went to Tenerife, the island next to it.
Yeah.
It was sick as fuck, dude. And spots are like, dude, it's like a Tony Hawk's Pro Skateboarder, but instead of spots still being larger than the human, the spots are tiny, but they're still just as dope.
Yeah.
And it's just fucking magic.
Oh, I've seen them. So in my full chapter 2, in my full length that I dropped, I have a whole part from those islands.
What, really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So I sponsored, there's 5 guys out there that I sponsored when I had Board Warrior, those hats down there.
Oh, yeah. I remember those.
So they sold my product out there.
Sick.
Yeah, there was a shop out there that
Fiasco?
No.
Start with a V? Voila?
Yeah, those guys.
Okay.
They sold my product, had my hats in their store.
Wow.
And the guys that rode for that shop, yeah.
That's so sick.
Yeah, I don't remember all their names. I feel super bad, but Benjamin Berhimo was one dude.
Okay.
Who's like a younger cat that was just like doing Benihana's on flat and shit. It's so good, dude. But yeah, they were out there representing my company, which is crazy because I never really met them.
Yeah.
I knew their filmer.
Okay.
I met their filmer, and he hooked me up with them.
Okay.
And shipped product out there. And the next thing you know, I'm shipping my video out there. They had a premiere of the video out there and everything.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's sick. Did you get to go yet?
No.
You gotta fucking go, dude. It's sick.
Yeah. My wife and I are talking. We need to travel to Europe. We need to go.
Someday it will happen.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to Europe.
Yeah.
And a few other places. But my wife and I need to travel. I haven't been to Spain. I've been through England and France and Italy.
Well, dude, Gran Canaries, even though it's Spanish ruled, it's actually off the coast of Africa. And when you go there, there's signs that say we are not Spanish everywhere.
Really?
And if you talk to the homies, they're like, que peor. No soy de España. Soy de Gran Canaria. Somos diferentes. Like, we're not the same.
Crazy.
We're different. Like, fuck those fools. But, and then you're there and you recognize, like, there are different ethnicities here than what you would possibly see potentially all the time in Spain, because there's such a mix from people coming from Africa or from different parts of the world that it's like, oh, dope, dude, it's so fucking sick. Highly recommend it.
Yeah. Well,
Very fun.
from the footage that they sent me, I definitely want to go check it out. It
Yeah.
looks super legit.
Yeah, it's so sick, dude. Because you're at the skate park, and then you walk a little bit, and you're in the city, and then you walk a little bit, and you're at the beach.
Yeah.
Because it's a perfect peninsula.
Yeah.
And it's just like next level shit.
Okay, so what are we doing now? Like, what are you doing? I mean, obviously you're on the podcast right now.
Yes.
But in life, what are we doing? Are you working? Are you like?
Excellent question.
What are we doing?
Dude, right now I am building back up to work. So soon enough I work. I will not work right at the moment because I've tried, and dude, I tried. Like after the surgery, I tried to live in Oakland and live with my ex, and I got like a really nice job working for an architecture firm, doing marketing and shit. I was thinking like I'm gonna be a grown-up man, and I'm gonna try to marry this woman and be a good father. I'm gonna do all this. Worked there for a month, and I fucking hated that shit. And I got fired, so it was perfect. And then I worked at a tactical robot company selling tactical robots to SWAT teams. So I had to call SWAT teams every day. And like I had to call like 30 to 40 different SWAT teams and talk to the sergeant and lieutenant and ask them if they had any interest in our tactical robot. And I did that for a few months, and I fucking hated it.
Sounds pretty terrible.
It was terrible. And so I left. And since then, I haven't really been working. I've just been living at home and kind of chilling. Thankfully, I have my parents. But the doctors have also told me, like, now's not the time for you to work. You have to wait and chill.
Get your shit back together. Like, let it get back together.
Yeah. But it just drives me fucking wild because this is what I've wanted all my life, Like, I wanted this when I was 20 or when I was 21. I just wanted to chill and skate.
Yeah.
And now here I am, 31, and I don't want to do this. I want to, like, work or be doing something,
Yeah. Grass is always greener, bro.
Grass is always greener.
Always greener on that.
Always, dude. So, as of right now, I'm not working, but I will have a job soon hereafter in something. However, I do work with elemental awareness at the moment. So this all draws back to element. This is when things get kind of juicy, I would suppose.
Okay, all right.
Basically, if I could run it back, how it all works.
I was gonna ask before we get into this story. This might prelude that a little bit. Of you were on flow with element.
Yes.
You broke your ankle, and then you decided you weren't really going to be skating super pro anymore. And so, how did element? Were they supportive, or were they like, peace out? Did they? I mean, obviously you still work with them, so there was obviously still some connection. How that?
Yes. That all happened through skate camp. So back in 15 or 16 years, something like that, when Bam originally rode for the team, or when Tosh Townend rode for the team.
Way back,
when Element was fucking dope. Like, oh, that's the sickest brand that's out there.
Nigel was a Grom.
Yes. It was sick, dude. Yeah. Well, that's when camp was at its worst, and they really needed some sort of sponsor to help them out. And Todd, my friend Todd Larson, and our friend Mike Kirshner, they decided to go to a wilderness survival camp, or not camp, but a school. Tom Brown III, he teaches in New Jersey, I believe, and he learned from his grandfather, who was like this native chief. Who, I don't know if he was a chief, but he was just like a survivalist dude. So everything he teaches is how to survive from the ground up. Like, basically, if you're going to be cast away, like fucking...
Yeah. Survivalist shit.
Survivalist shit. If you're cast away, we teach you the 4 things, which are shelter, because if you have 3 hours to survive, more or less, in a shelter situation. Like, if your shelter goes bad where it's too hot or too cold, you have 3 hours until you're dead. So you have to figure out how to get that shelter right. And then you have fire, I believe, unless it's the other way around. Fire is... Of course, I think it's water is next, but we usually skip to fire first. But water is like how to purify water, which water to drink, not to drink, just like still water or whatever, to get the good flow. And then it's fire, and that's basically how you make fire with nothing but that which surrounds you. And there's a hand drill, which is basically like a long stick, and a fireboard, which is just a board like this, and you just drill into it, and you keep doing it. And then you get a coal, and you take the coal into a tinder bundle, and you blow that up, and then it makes a fire, and then you put that in the little teepee hut that you built, and then you've got a fire going. And then the last one is food, and that's like the main concept of like what herbs, how to stock properly, what to eat, when to eat, that type of shit, how to store. But what they learned is like everything, dude. Fucking everything. How to make a spear, how to make a knife, how to survive with literally nothing, how to be in the Northwest surviving, how to be in the Southwest surviving, how to be in Europe surviving, all these things that they did. Or they would have to do things like, okay, you guys are getting pretty close. We've been here for 6 months to now. You guys are going to go for your training. Where they would go out and
survive.
What they had to do were certain things and goals or obstacles where they would completely immerse themselves in the surrounding land with herbs and trees and fucking bugs and whatever. So they're completely covered, and they would have to get as close as possible to camping people without ever indicating that they're there. So they would get in almost
creepy,
almost as close as like feet within them, and then they'd leave. And that's, if they got caught, they'd have to do it again. The only way you get by is if you left and didn't get caught. So it was crazy shit like that.
I would just hide away from him and say, no, I was there. You didn't see me? I did good, huh? You didn't even see me. I was right next to you, bro.
Dude. So that was that. Todd and Kirsch got that going. And then Kirshner went down to something, was just like, fuck, Element. They're looking for a camp. Well, Todd, I got an idea. We are a nonprofit. We're called Elemental Awareness. We're going to teach kids. We're going to connect kids to nature through skateboarding because they're going to come to our skate camp, and we're going to get Element to sponsor us. So then Element came to camp. They saw it. They're like, yep.
Yeah.
And at the very beginning, things were very lovely. My friend Todd basically got a job doing marketing at Element because an Element got a connection to to skate camp. But really what was going on, as opposed to supporting camp or supporting Elemental Awareness as they could, they had camp and they got Elemental Awareness to do jobs for them. Like, hey, we need the Future Nature contest to start. You're going to run it for us. So even though Future Nature later became this the video about the AMs, it was originally the Make Account series. Then the Make Account series became what was Future Nature, because that's what the main dude wanted to. He's like, we got to make it count. So Todd basically, although we were getting money for camp, for the rest of the year, he was getting money for himself by doing shit for Element. So it was like kind of an interesting and strange place. But realistically, what was happening is like, even though like the team changed and like the product changed and Element doesn't have this same look as it used to, like it's not really that tight anymore as far as like the clothes, the boards or anything. The fucking team and the people that work there are so sick. They're the best fucking people, and that's because of Todd, because of the people that he would be like, hey, we're gonna do a Make Account tour, we're gonna go all over the world, and we kind of need some riders, so we're gonna get Evan Smith and Chris Colburn, maybe Brandon Westgate when we go to the East Coast. And he looks at Dylan and myself, and we're like, yeah, dude,
yeah, that'd be cool.
Go. So we got to do so much rad, fun shit. And of course, through that time, that's when I got hurt. And many of my homies that were already working at skate camp now started working at Element too. Because like my friend Matt Ward, who's an exceptional human being, solid dude. He was hooking me up with Flo. And then when I was hurt, I was just like, fuck, I don't know what to do. And Todd came to Make Account up in San Jose, and I went to visit with my homie Ryan Farley, and I was just watching him. And my friend Mike Kirshner, the dude who's the homie, who was announcing the contest, and I was just like, dude, this is awful. I was like, can I announce for you? He's like, yeah. And then I took it, and I was like, la, la, la. And Todd was like, yo, we're going to have a contest in SAC. Do you want to announce that? I'm like, yup.
Yeah.
Then I announced that one. He's like, yo, we're going to do this a lot. Do you want to announce them next year? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how it worked. It was like, I ended up starting to get paid doing that shit. So it was like I was a pro skateboarder, but I wasn't, because I had a different job in it, and I didn't necessarily have to like put myself in risk like that. All I had to do was make sure I announced. But all I did was just talk shit on everyone, which was me talking shit on myself and making everybody feel great.
Perfect.
And it was awesome, dude. And then I got a job working as the founder's personal assistant, Johnny Shillev. Dude, it was crazy. It was fucking crazy, dude. I personally just wanted to learn how I could grow my perception of business so that way I could take skate camp and do my own. Because I love skate camp.
Yeah.
But it's been owned by the YMCA. But even the YMCA is going through so many crazy things that I don't necessarily trust working with those individuals, because this is my 12th year coming up. I've seen so many people who were my bosses come and go.
Yeah.
Like 6 or 7 to the point now where they're like, new people are like, oh, can you tell me what's going on? And it's like, you're not going to be here for next year.
Yeah.
I don't need to tell you.
Like,
But you're still getting the money that these kids are paying, and we only get to work 6 weeks doing what we love. This is bullshit. So I thought, fuck them. I'm going to learn how to grow mentally for being a person who runs a business, you know?
Yeah.
I'll just be the main dude. But working as a personal assistant was not like that. It was fucking
No.
hard, dude.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Go give me fucking coffee.
I do not recommend to anyone to be a personal assistant. It fucking sucks. Unless you would like to see what life is like on the other side. What you would like to see when grass isn't green. But when grass is like a shitty pale brown or like a terrible pink for some reason. That's what it's like.
Yeah.
So I did that for a little bit, and then I worked in sales, and I was like, nah, fuck this. I'm over it.
Sales is terrible too.
It's, dude, also god awful. And then I was able just to work with a nonprofit, and we do the contest series we did, and we also did the reservation tours where we go to different Indian reservations, and we'd have a skate contest for the kids, but it was pretty much just the skate kids doing a jam, and we'd give them
Yeah.
prizes.
Hey, you landed a trick. Here's a board.
Yeah. Literally, yeah. Or you didn't land a trick, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You gave it a try.
Yeah.
And there'd be kids who didn't skate, but we had boards for them to paint. And Mike is a graffiti artist, and he has like the sickest tags all over. So he would do something for them, and the kids would just be like, "Wah!" And then we'd show them how to do it. So it was so cool. So with that nonprofit, with the reservation tours, we also do this thing called Winter Count, where we go to a wilderness survival camp in Arizona. I almost said Australia. That'd be fucking sick, but that's a different story. But we go to Arizona, and dude, it's like Burning Man, but instead of attractive, nearly naked young women, we have unattractive, nearly naked old men. They're like, and I'm not saying like, what? How could that be? I'm talking like, dude, it's all these people who are just fucking survivalists. Like, they live in a fucking cloth, you know?
Yeah.
They live in like brain tan,
Yeah.
like a hide from a fucking bull. It's just wrapped around their body, and they're literally like John of Little Sticks is here, you know, just like some dude from fucking Milwaukee Little Sticks or something like that. But he's the dude who's teaching you how to not only cultivate honey, but how to tell whether the honey is right for eating or for healing or other things like that. Or this person's going to show you how to make a fire, or this person's going to show you how you make your own fucking knife. Dude, this one time we were staying in oh my God, dude. All right, this is off the topic from this, but during our Indian reservation tours, we go and stay on Gino's land, and Gino is this like almost chief type figure in Window Rock, Arizona, which is right, New Mexico and Arizona. It's right where it meets, and it's Window Rock, and it's just a circle in this canyon of rock that you can see up there, and you look at it like, wow, you know, it's like cool, that's it. But the land itself is an old reservation with a dope skate park and a really good group of people. But he has his grandfather's land. And on his grandfather's land, we always do the craziest shit. And his son at Setsa, he showed us how to make, not on his grandfather's land, but at the house, Setsa showed us how to take a railroad tie and pretty much like get it hot, slam it down with a fucking hammer, and make it into a perfectly usable tiny knife. Yeah. And how to make bigger knives and shorter knives. And it's so sick. And then later they took us to grandfather's land to show us how to use our knives and explore in that certain area. But really what he was going to show us is shapeshifters. Because, believe it or not, there are crazy spirits out there in this fucking world, and they're all around us. And so we're rolling deep in the van. It's a 15-seater van. We're on our fucking reservation tour. All the homies are smoking spliffs. We're chilling hard, doing our thing, you know what I'm saying? We get there, we stop. It sets us out with 2 raven feathers that are fucking giant, or eagle, or something. They're just big-ass feathers, and he's just, like, silently waiting. And we get out of the car, and we're like, ah! And we're, like, quiet, because it sets us there just, like, looking at us, and he's like, the way he talks, he's always so, the way we do this is we must first enter that which we must escape. You know, like, what are you talking about, dude? But this is how he talks. Dude, so this fool's talking, right? And we're just chilling, and I'm like so high, just like looking around, like, wah, wah, and a dog comes from nowhere, and it's like a big land because this is out in the middle of nowhere of Window Rock, Arizona. Yeah. And there's what are those called? It's not a hut, it's not a tarp, but it's like a teepee, but it's like it has 8 sides to it. A yurt. He has a man-made yurt there that is all from wood and fucking adobe that he got from the land. So it's like, whoa, that's dope. And we're chilling there. This dog comes up to me, and it's like kind of scary looking. It has like one eye, the other eye has this crazy scar through it, and it's like, it's smelling everybody, but it keeps just chilling next to me for some reason. And I thought it was fucking weird. And I'm like, yo, and Gino's like, no, it's good. It used to have a bad spirit, but that is not with it anymore. Let's proceed. So I'm like, whatever, dude. And we keep going. And basically how the night works is like, we didn't know this, but we're going to go exploring. And we're going to go hike for a while. And we're going to stop. And we're going to be in a line. And we're going to wait. And we're going to listen. And we're going to breathe. And he's going to tell us a story. And then we walk. We do that same thing. And then we walk. And we do that same thing. So each time we walk, it'd be like 15 minutes. And then we chill for 15 minutes. So the first walk, we're like out there, dude. Just like in the fucking desert.
Yeah.
Chilling. And we're walking. We stop. And he's talking about how the wind is actually trying to express to us that there are evil spirits approaching. The trees that move, that is actually those spirits that are with us telling us that those that we do not want to be with will come our way soon. So it's a warning for us. And we're like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? So he's telling us crazy shit. And the dog, which I didn't see at all during the walk, is walking right next to me. And I'm just like, that's fucking weird, dude. This is really strange, but whatever. So we start walking again. And the dog is gone. And we're chilling. We go to the next spot. We're hanging out. Then we do it again. And we go to the final spot. And it's like this big grove. And we're not necessarily in the desert as I would think before because there's this like lusciousness of grass. But there's so many trees around. And he's like, all right, we're just going to wait for the spirits and keep to yourself, you know? And at that point, we're all in a line. My homie Dylan is in front of me. Sets is behind me, and everybody else is lined up there out from, and I'm like, wow, what a great day. Like, whoa, I'm never going to tell my parents about this because they fucking wouldn't believe me, you know? What's going to happen? And I look over, and in a calm state of mind, I notice the dog. It's probably like 300 feet away, just way out there. And I thought like, oh, chill, you know? That's weird. And I breathe, and I look down, and the dog is standing right next to me. And I look up, and that dog that was there is gone. And I'm like, what the fuck? And the only dog that was real was the one next to me. And I was like, Dylan! I didn't want to scream.
I mean, did other people see that dog too?
No.
Nobody else saw that dog?
No. And I was like, Dylan, dude, I fucking saw a ghost. And it such as like, was it bright and luminescent? I was like, yes. And he's like, it's okay. It's only a good thing. I was just like, whatever, dude. Fuck it. That dog ran away. And after all of that, I was fully tripping. It changed my life. And I thought, dude, ghosts are real. All of this is crazy. And Gino's like, all right, we are at a place where the spirits are almost here. We need to ward them off. I've got a bunch of firecrackers back, and we're going to light them off. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I just saw a ghost, dude. You're telling me I can... Dude, we went back.
Were they snakes and sparklers?
Dude, snakes and sparklers. That was my favorite. No, it was a whisker do and a whisker don't or something like that. Dude, no. They fucking, it was just like those shooters. Dude, we had so many firecrackers. It was sick as fuck. And then at that point, we kept on telling Gino that there's shapeshifters over there. So he kept on trying to get the camera to follow him to find the other shapeshifter. Dude, it was so funny and so fucking sick. I loved it. But going back to what I was talking about, that was just that. But basically, we're going to this winter count next week with like the whole crew, and we are going to pretty much learn how to survive and do whatever. But we chill on the outskirts because we have like our own little camp area where we bring like some boards and like some plywood for people to skate and paint, and we just like make knives or bows or whatever, and it's really fun. But with that, and linking this to skate camp and why I was involved, Element pretty much got to a point where, if you'll notice, they haven't been doing too good in sales. And as far as like Element boards at shops, it's like where? I don't see them, you know? Maybe at Zoomies or something like that, but I don't really see them that much. Well, they don't really sell that much because people don't want to buy their shit because they're kind of fucking up hard. And,
tell me how you really feel.
I know. Well, dude, the thing about it is that I've invested so much of my time in the lower and in the upper, like being there with the founder and seeing what it's like, but then to also work in the sales or the marketing and just to get my friends jobs, but to see my friends get fired for no reason, to see these other people coming in trying to do my friend's job, but hungrily trying to appeal or appease the bosses. It's like, dude, it doesn't work, man.
Yeah,
we gotta be
that's not
true.
what skateboarding's about.
That's not what skateboarding's about. Well, dude, they got to the point where Todd just put out a 10-year video where he's talking about all the kids that he's brought up to camp. Dude, Todd always raised money from working at Element to survive and to pay for kids to come to camp for free. And he would not only pick them up, he'd give them clothes, he'd give them food, he'd give them boards, he'd let them stay at camp for free, and then he'd take them home. So it was about, and he's been doing this for so long that he filmed a 10-year video at the barracks where they're like all coming together. And basically what happened was Johnny showed it to the uppers, or like something along these lines of the uppers found out about it and were like, great, so we own that skate camp, right? To which Johnny's like, we don't necessarily own it. And they're like, well, this is our marketing, right? And he's like, well, he could have said no, but he said, yes, it is. And he's like, and this is our skate camp going on, right? And he's like, yep. And they said, you don't have to involve any other people or marketing tools, right? And he's like, nope. So then he comes downstairs and he tells Todd, hey man, I know we got you signed up for another year, but we're actually going to cut it. So we're not going to do Make It Count anymore. We're not going to do any of the marketing things. We're actually not going to use you as far as marketing camp for us. We're going to do it ourselves, and we don't really need you anymore. So that $100,000 that we had set for you isn't available, and sorry about that. Not only that, but they're just about to fucking release a whole new set of dope camping gear. Dope camping gear. Pants, jacket, shirt, sweater, beanie, boots. Everything that you can think of as being a dope camping gear. Backpacks was Elemental Awareness collaboration. And Elemental Awareness is on everything. And they basically broke up. Our ex-boyfriend, Element, broke up with us. And now we're in this stage where they're like selling the shit, but not giving the money that they literally owe to Elemental Awareness. So that's why, as of recently, I haven't been doing as many nonprofit things, because we have to wait for the judicial function of that to occur so we can get out. But this winter count, we're going to meet, and all the homies are going to be there, and it's like we're talking about what the next step is and how we will grow it. And I think it would be more of an interactive way where we have more hiking and camping throughout the year in many different places, not just limited to skate camp. Yeah. And then we'll probably start our own camp somewhere, depending on the location, in a few years. So
that'd be rad.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I've got going on. Other than chilling with my dogs, it's just been thinking about making skate camp really happen. Dude, if I already almost died once, I would not want to wait not to live the best fucking life I could. And that's what makes me super happy, but it also is what has connected me to my fucking family. All those people that were there with me when I was in the hospital, they will always be in my heart. So to think that I could help bolster this place and give that to someone else for them to experience these things. Dude, skate camp, that's how it started. It was like 32 years ago. Some homies was like, yo, we just want to have a camp. And they started it at fucking CSU or at Cal Poly, just like at their courtyard. They just started doing it. And then they found out about skate camp or a YMCA camp. We're like, hey, can we do this? And like, you can do it for 2 weeks and you have to leave. Then the next summer, it's like 3 weeks. Then the next summer, 5 weeks. Then the next summer, 9 weeks. It's like, okay, we're chilling. But dude, that all fucking started because we wanted it to start. Yeah. And it's just like anything else. Just like how we're doing this. This all started because you guys wanted this to happen and you got it.
Well, it's not just wanting it, but it's actually taking that first step. Yeah. And being continuous with it.
For sure.
That's the only way. Because you could want all you want.
Unless you do it.
You can sit there and want everything in the world.
Yeah.
But if you're sitting there fucking playing video games all day, you ain't gonna get shit.
No, for reals. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. So with this trip to winter count for us, it will be like the beginning of what the next step will be, which should be cool.
Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what is next for you in that aspect, to see where you guys take that idea and that vision and the passion. Yeah. Because I think that's definitely something that we need, not just in the world, but especially in the skate community, is we need the mentors.
Dude,
we need the people to teach the kids the etiquette and the culture.
For sure.
The stories and the lifestyle, the mentality, the everything. We need the older people, because if not, then we're all going to become a bunch of skate park rats who don't know how to handle ourselves in the street.
Yeah.
And that's that's not our generation. You know what
No,
I mean? Like,
for reals. That's not us, dude. Dude, that's honestly the hardest part about doing our Indian reservation tours. And they're always crazy, dude. There's even more stories that are just fucking nuts.
I bet.
But the world that we surround ourselves in with it, as in like the actual reservation locations, it's fucked, dude. Those kids grow up with the worst people because their society is made up of people who are pushed out from our society, and they're like sanctioned into this, but they're here first. This land is theirs. If it's our land, it's their land, whatever. But they're limited to things. But what really happens is how much drugs and alcohol becomes a thing with all young kids. It's crazy because they're getting the stipend of money, and that turns into this. But for the most part, you can't really do much in Missouri, so you're going to drink.
Yeah.
So everybody's drinking. So each time we go out there, we have all these young kids. You could tell they're sketchy as fuck. Like, that 10-year-old is sketchy as fuck. But I'm going to give them some shoes. And then you'll see the homies who are, like, 16 coming to the park. And they'd be like, yo, I haven't seen you in so long, dude. Fuck, man. It's crazy since I had my kids. I just been working. I can't really skate anymore. And he's got tats on his face, and it's like, whoa, dude. Okay. Thankfully, we at least can do this contest, and hopefully that will bring some joy to these kids and, like, the desire to do more. But, like, dude, if you don't have those right figures in your life, like, if you don't have a place like skate camp,
shit could go real bad.
real quick.
Yeah.
It sucks, dude.
And I've seen it. I've seen both sides of the coin. I've seen kids who don't have the support system or the mentors and watch them just fucking drink themselves to death or commit crimes and end up in jail.
Yeah.
And then I've also seen, you know, the kids that have that mentor that have gone on to, holy shit, that motherfucker's doing some things.
Right.
You know what I mean? People who were just, I mean, I he's a local legend, so I always go back to Miles Silvis.
Dude, yes.
You know what I mean? Prime example of somebody who
Mega G.
who had obviously had the talent from the gate,
Yeah.
comes from a good home. I mean, now I'm speaking just from third party because I don't know him personally, but just from the outside.
It is.
You know, he comes
It's a great home.
from a
Wonderful
good
family.
home. What I hear, his parents are supportive and everything. But then he was amazing, and then he got taken under the wing of Carl. Right? Carl picked him up and then introduced him to some people.
Yeah.
And then he got the right people above him.
Yeah.
And now he's the fucking a legend.
Dude,
You know what I mean? Like,
it never stopped, though. That was even before he was even with Carl. I remember seeing Miles at Mather the first time, and I was backside flipping the 5, and I had stuck one, and I was like, all right, sick. I'm going to get close. And Miles was 12, and he's like, wow, backside flip. Can I backside flip with you? I'm like, yeah, whatever. And dude, he did it 3 times in a row, and I still hadn't landed it. Like, this motherfucker.
well, that's what I mean. He was always good.
He was
I'm
always
saying
good.
You
But-
take somebody like that and
Yeah.
you put the right mentor,
Because, dude, he chilled with us
because
from
he
then
could
on
have
out.
he could have gone the other direction.
But he didn't.
You know, there's plenty of guys who had his talent level
Yeah.
that are now sitting on the couch drinking 40s, and
Dude,
they're in their
so
30s,
many homies
and they're
like-
fucking, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they got tattoos on their face and they're drinking 40s.
Yeah.
But then you get a kid like Miles who took the right path, had the right mentors, and he's going to be set for life.
For sure.
For life.
man.
He's obviously making the right decisions from what I can see from the outside.
Yeah.
He's everywhere.
He's the best.
You know what I mean? And his talent level is only rising.
Right?
So that shows
that's
that
mind-blowing.
he's making the right choices off the board as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So dude, fucking kudos to him. We need more people like that.
We need
You know?
more Miles.
Well, there aren't going to be any more of those. That's, I don't know.
That'd be tough.
But we need just brings me back to the point of the mentors. We need people like you. We need people who will take the youngsters and say, hey, you know, this is, smack them in the back of the head when they're fucking up. Say, dude, don't do that shit. Like,
Yeah.
you know, come on, pay attention. You know,
For real.
stop drinking so much.
I know, dude. Dude, that's honestly like the craziest fucking part of skate camp is that even though it's in the summer times, and with time it will change with the development that we create with elemental awareness, as I call it now, but that will be changed too because we have to change the name.
Oh, they're making you change the name?
Well, dude, we think so. We think with the lawyers that's the best move. We haven't fully decided.
Separate yourself.
Yeah.
We won't talk too much about that because you guys are obviously in process of
Yeah,
that. So
something will happen.
we'll let the higher up, the people smarter than us deal with that. That's what I always say. Let somebody
That'll
smarter
be
than me
great.
deal with that.
But with that, skate camp has always been this place that is like, I've learned so much from it. Everybody that I work with were older than me or maybe just younger than me when I first started. But I had to be a figure to these kids as their parents. And because we are on the YMCA lake, we have to work extra hard to do better than the other camps, the 4 other camps that are around the lake. Because if we ever do anything wrong, of course we're gonna get ridiculed.
Fucking skateboarders.
Skate camp, they're terrible. They're the worst, you know?
Yeah.
But we work extra fucking hard because we know we have to. And then what that means is that we have amazing training from therapists, from actual survivalists, from actual sociologists, people that work with people. You know, we have really good training. Even though it's a week, it's because we take that shit serious and we know what it takes to make shit happen because we're skateboarders. We know if we want to kickflip that set, you got to practice, you got to fall, you got to keep fucking going for it, you know? This is the same thing. And ultimately what happens is even the first summer I worked at when I was 20, I learned so much in that week of training that the rest of the summer, it was just like, even though these people are younger than me, or even though these people are older than me, we're all united with our passion and love for skating, and that's it. The other things don't even get brought up. Drinking and smoking, if they got brought up, we push them aside. If kids tell us about their parents hurting them or their friends beating them up or anything negative like that, we talk about it in a way to where we're on this together. Like everyone in the cabin's going to talk about it, you know? Or you'll talk about it with me outside, or we'll talk to the director. It's in a way to where there's so much support. Dude, kids start going to skate camp when they're 8 years old. Yeah. I was director there for 4 years, but still returned teaching wilderness survival. And there's kids who are still 8 years old and people I know who are in their 60s. Yeah. And that age difference
doesn't matter.
It doesn't fucking matter. Yeah. And everybody's having the best fucking time ever.
Because we all speak skateboard.
Yes!
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter, dude.
For reals! Yeah. Excellent mentors, wonderful human beings.
And this is the, just so if people who are listening, if you're thinking about sending your kids or whatever to skate camp, this is the YMCA skate camp. Like,
YMCA skate camp out of, if you were to go online and look up skatecamp.org, that's it.
It's like the first one.
It's the first one, yeah. And it's just outside of Fresno, California, up in the Sequoia National Forest. It's
beautiful place. I've never been there. I've seen, obviously I've seen a bunch of pictures and whatever. I have a bunch of like my little Groms have gone.
Oh, sick.
You know, like little Matty Jesse.
Yeah.
Little JT Miller.
Dude, yes.
Those are homies. My little homies.
What? That's sick as fuck, dude.
So I film for them.
What? Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Do you ever go to Matty's fucking warehouse?
Yeah.
That thing is crazy.
Yeah, dude.
His dad is the best.
Yeah. I work with his dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I shoot all his company's media.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty connected to the Jessies.
That's so cool.
I like great family.
Great family.
Same with the Millers too. The Millers.
Same with the Millers.
Great family.
And that's what skate camp's all about.
I used to sleep on JT's floor all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I don't know if you've heard of the shop in San Leandro Orbit.
Yeah.
So I do all the filming for them as well.
Oh, whoa.
So when we were filming, in fact, that movie right there, The Hidden Gem.
Yeah.
We were filming a movie a few years back, and I was going out there all the time, and I'd be like sleeping on JT's floor, like when we would go out there, and I love those kids.
Dude, his dad is the best.
Yeah.
I fucking love JT's dad.
Yeah, Jeremy is amazing.
The homie. He's always been the homie. Every time I saw him at camp, he'd always be like, "Woo! What's up, man? Just want to let you know, love you guys."
Well, he appreciated you guys because I'm pretty sure you guys let him come up there and like do work and stuff for
he could do it
for trade work with you know because. He really appreciated that. Getting the help out with because skate park, it's expensive.
It's expensive, and not only that, it's your son.
Yeah.
And it's like, why wouldn't you want to connect to one of the best places on this earth with your kin?
Yeah, right.
Fuck yeah. Come up. Bring your wife. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like the YMCA is not going to tell us what to do because they really don't actually have the chance to listen other than when I have the directors meetings, but I don't talk about this. So we can get away with anything.
Within reason.
Within reason.
Allegedly. In case anybody's listening.
Oh, it's okay. I'm not a YMCA employee anymore, so it's set.
Okay. Oh, yeah, because you're doing the elemental awareness thing.
Yes.
And they're cool with you doing whatever you need to do, right?
And whatever I'll do is only going to be safe and wonderful for our camp and our program and for the people that interact with it.
Of course. It sounds like you guys really take the time to think about things. You're not just like
skate camp is our baby.
Building a business.
No.
You're like, no, let's think about this. Let's make sure that this is done the right way.
Yep, dude.
So that's props to you guys for that.
It's so important. And it's hard for me to say like, right now I'm just kind of chilling, you know, I'm not really working. But for the most part, I've been working towards this my whole fucking life. And when I moved to Long Beach, I was working so I basically graduated college and I moved to Long Beach to work at a coffee shop, live among the pros, be closer to Element. And there was a Intro to Skateboarding, which is a program that my friend John DePoyan operates in Southern California. And I just wanted to learn about the basics for the business of like, how did they even get this little thing going?
Yeah.
If I want to get a camp going, I got to see from the ground up. I did that for a little bit, and then I became Johnny's assistant, did that for a little bit, and then I worked more in marketing in traveling and checking out other camps and seeing different things with the goal of just understanding other organizations to see their faults and to see their benefits.
Yeah.
And then to compare that with our own pros and cons and throw that together before we make any decision. Because if we rush this,
Fuck yeah.
we're fucked.
Yeah.
But if we do it right, that's just going to be tight,
Yeah.
dude.
It could be something that will last 50 years.
Yeah. Dude, if skate camp's already been going on for 30 years, whatever we do will continue on. Because in my mind, it wouldn't be like we're separating from skate camp. We're just allowing skate camp to grow because it's still the same thing. Yeah. It's just a different location. We just don't have...
Well, also, the more skate camps that are available, the lower you can get the costs to compete.
Yeah.
Therefore, more kids will have a chance to experience skate camp. Because I always heard about the YMCA camp.
I can go.
I always heard about Woodward.
Yeah.
And my mom, being the most amazing lady, she wanted to give me everything that I wanted. You know, give me anything that I wanted to do. Like, she was going to make it happen.
Yeah.
We looked into skate camp, and it was like $1,500 for the week. She was like, "Sorry, kid.
There's no way."
Sorry, I'm like, that's like more than our mortgage. You know what I mean? Like, I can't. You know, and that was in the 90s.
Yeah.
And she's like a single mom, dude, working multiple jobs, and she's like, I got three kids, and you want me to spend $1,500 on 5 days? I'm sorry, you know, like for just you. And I got it. I never was like come on, please, you know. I just was like, hey, is this a possibility? And then she looked at it, and I looked at it, and was like, okay. No. So if there were more skate camps, then obviously they would have to kind of compete with each other, kind of bring the price down a little bit.
Yes.
And you know what I mean? So in theory.
Yes. The only thing though
the way
is it depends. I like the theory. It only depends on the organization as well as the land that's on top of it.
The land is the most important part.
So why Woodward, for example, if you were to look into their organization, they're a huge fucking organization. They have locations all over the world. Yeah. China, East Coast, West Coast, Mexico, South America.
2 on the West Coast.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And I mean, yeah, they do because they have Woodward at Tahoe
and down south.
And then they have the Boulder or the Copper or whatever, or Cooper in Colorado.
For the Olympic one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, they have
and
Woodward
the Pennsylvania everywhere. One. Yeah.
And they charge where the fuck they want because it's their business.
Woodward.
It's Woodward. Yeah. It's their land. They know what they need to do. It's fine. So for skate camp, we can charge a lower rate, but it's the YMCA. But really what happened was the YMCA was given that land hundreds of years ago or 100 years ago.
Yeah.
As long as they made sure there was only camps to be offered there all the time, which they said yes. Yeah. But also they're making sure that they're collecting the funds. So
but to buy some land and keep it operational,
that would be hard.
The price.
However, with the right connections that we've made over these years to get land from the homies, that's the most ideal way. And
you find somebody who's an investor, who's looking for a tax write-off, or it's just basically like you can just use it. Go ahead.
Right? Yeah. If they've already got the land, they don't give a shit.
That'll probably be the most profitable way to do something like that. If they were just like, hey, I'd just go ahead and run the skate camp.
Yeah.
You know, give me 5% of whatever you make. You know.
For sure. And that's honestly what we're looking into. And that's
all right. So if anybody here, if you've got a big chunk of land out there and you're listening and you're like, I wonder what I'm going to do with this big chunk of land.
Don't waste your time. Skate camp. Hit me up at Jan Snarlos. DM me, whatever. It's all good. No, if you want to be a part of something that will give back to people and only allow them to grow as human beings, this would be a wonderful opportunity. And you may make money from it. So it's your choice.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know I can feel it. There's somebody out there listening that has that exact scenario going on.
Yeah, dude.
Just sitting on this big plot of land with a lake, and they're like, "What do I do with this?" I don't know.
Well, dude, we're quite open to possibilities. Like whether we're close to a lake or a land of water, or a body of water, that's very important.
It'd be nice.
But
you could do it without that.
We could do it separate, or we could do it close to the ocean too. And then
you could build one. You could build a lake. Fuck it.
Yes, dude.
Or the ocean. The ocean would be cool because you could do surf camp
and skate.
Yeah.
Or if it's close to the mountains, we could do. There's so much, dude.
I know.
The main thing though is just to be patient. Make sure that our organization is in the right sense, and with these changes, now it's back to us doing it on our own, which is chill, and then making sure that we have the right land and the right people, so that, dude. Because if we go into this and we're just like taking money and we're in debt, just hopefully get out of it, we're fucked.
Yeah.
The dopest is just
you don't
to
wanna do
use
that.
what we already have, and that's connections and experience to get the right people who want this, and then it's like, okay, dope. Because who knows? Maybe we want to start it, and some person didn't know about it, and then they hear about it, and we're in debt, and they're like, I wish you would have told me. I have so much millions of dollars I could have helped. And it's like, oh, we should have talked about
Dude,
it.
they just heard about it right now.
Thank you all out
Like
there so much.
you're about to get a DM like right now.
DM you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you never know.
All right. Well, I mean, I hope we could help, shine some light on that, on what your future plans, what you're doing.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Definitely keep us involved in touch. If like you end up, if we, if this comes to fruition and we, whatever, let me know. We'll definitely do what we can to help.
Fuck yeah.
Because we're all trying to be around skateboarding.
Yeah, dude.
We're all trying to just keep speaking skateboarding. That's all we want to do.
Dude, best language out there.
And we're not going to turn pro anytime soon. So,
Maybe.
yeah, Cameron maybe. I've given up on it. But this is the best way we could stay in skateboarding and just sit around and talk about it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Dude, we're so far from pro. Oh, all right, man. I think we're gonna. I think we covered pretty much everything.
Dope.
It's really good to hear your story because I've known about you and about what happened secondhand for a long time.
Yeah.
For the last couple of years, and I kind of wanted. I was hoping I could get the chance to sit down and just kind of chat with you about it, and I'm really happy to hear too that you're making such a good recovery.
Yeah, thankfully. From my family and friends.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So sick.
Keep doing some research into how to how to fix the brain, how to keep fixing the brain. That just keep on that. It sounds like you're doing a good job. Don't let yourself go.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fucking stop, dude.
Yeah.
I'm too focused on what I want, and what I want. I already pretty much died once, so now it's like, how do I keep living, being healthy, get a skate camp, and fucking stay happy with the ones I love. To do what I love with the ones I love. That's all I'm gonna do.
That's what's up.
But if you have to sacrifice things like, I can't drink alcohol, or I better make sure to eat healthy, it's like, fuck it, let's roll.
Fuck, you mean you just got to make my life better? Fuck.
Yeah, bummer.
You mean I'm not going to get hangovers? I'm going to live longer? Ugh.
Dang it.
Stupid.
Yeah. Well, thank you, dude.
All right, man. So if you want to find him, follow his story, follow what was the comic thing? What was the name of that you're going to be doing on Instagram? Is there like a name?
If you for the dogs, it'd be Poo Tails.
Poo Tails. You want to follow the Poo Tails. You check him out on Instagram, Jan Snarlos. We'll put links in the description, as well as a couple links of some older footage of you that we looked at. Anywhere else we can find you?
Dude.
Anywhere else we need to find you?
Through Skate Camp. If you go to skatecamp.org or even on the Elements
Just
old YouTube.
skatecamp.org.
.org, yeah.
Okay.
There's like old videos, and like there's the Woodrow Walker series where I'm a wilderness survival and I teach you how to survive, but
You're in character?
I'm in character.
Oh, dude. Okay, go check it out. I'm going to have to check that out. Too.
Woodrow Walker. It's good.
It's amazing.
There's 2 seasons and they're wonderful.
2 seasons?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, we got it. Okay. All right. We'll put that in the link too, just so you can just hit it right on the description. Man, dude, this has been awesome.
It has.
It's been
Thank you
awesome,
for having
dude.
me.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
All right. If you want to find us, all the episodes, about that ender on Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, all that jazz. Been your host, Keith, Mr. Audio Wizard, Cameron Baptiste, and we're out.